does. It doesn't chase. It doesn't attack.
A creature like that, how would it ever die?
And this monster starts running right at me.
Annihilated by nuclear bombs.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
Oh, you're crazy.
But I saw that monster too. All I want is for someone to believe me.
Contaminated.
Face. Horrible. Look like it would scare you to death.
All right, let's get to work.
Feel the shadows.
Hmm? Hmm? Oh wait, I didn't scroll. I didn't scroll far enough. Oh wait a second. Why isn't the soundboard working? Hold on. That's the one thing I didn't.
Hello, you beautiful humans.
Oh my God.
So
Hi.
lovely to see you.
Hi, world.
Hello.
You are also a beautiful human.
Where-
World is the most beautiful.
Soundboard. Wow, every week it's just something else, isn't it? USB line codec. It's on. Volume's all the way up.
Yay!
Soundboard's just not doing anything.
You're the most beautiful human.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna have to be like my dad and say agree to disagree. It's gotta be world. That's okay. We'll just agree to disagree together.
Hold on, folks.
My dad always does that. We'll say
I
I
won't
love.
be chatty cause my head hurts.
Oh no. World's head hurts. So that means we've got to be like extra diligent in our Nessie investigation and make sure that we're taking World's side too.
Yeah, they were already saying that if they get a
But
drop
you will
off.
make my head better by being your wonderful selves. Hello.
Hey, hello.
James, how you doing? I am currently troubleshooting the stupid mixer. I don't
Did you
know.
show Hazel the evidence?
No.
No, but we talked about it. I was telling her about it when we were grocery shopping this morning.
You know what the best part he told me about was that cartoon that you
that's-
told
that's what
him
we're talking
about that yeah.
That's what we're
Is
talking
that,
about.
yeah, that's pretty cool. I want to see that later. That's probably going to be better than the movie we tried to watch earlier that I drug us into.
USB line codec.
It was decent. It required too much of a specific
It's a
type
banger.
of.
It's pretty good. I'm a sucker for
I'm
hand-drawn
excited to watch
cartoons.
that. The movie we tried to watch earlier, about midday today. I can't even remember what it was called, but it was a variation on perspective of minor characters in
Hamlet? You
Hamlet.
You won't
Yeah.
doubt the Nessie after seeing it.
Oh, good. Maybe we should have watched that instead today
Yes.
before the show. But this movie we were watching earlier today was a variation of
Oh, we got
like the
turned down.
minor characters in Hamlet and them kind of watching everything go down, and it was supposed to be a dark comedy and slash, I guess commentary on tragedy, but it was really good. I just didn't have the specific type
Cool.
of brain power it took to manage that today for some reason.
There it is.
I
There it
don't know.
is.
I took a really good nap earlier, and I think it reset my brain.
And now the soundboard levels are going to be off because I was over twisting knobs.
And we're jamming right now.
All
I
right.
hope
Well,
this is not bothering World's head. We're jamming.
well, I mean, if the soundboard sounds like it's too loud or too quiet, somebody just please let me know, and we will sort it out. Sorry about that delay, folks. It's just consistent. I'm really just botching it up lately. What is
You
that?
gotta-
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I do hear it. I hear the little doo-doo,
What
doo-doo.
was that?
I don't know. Something is happening, but that's...
What was that? I don't know. One of these days, I'm going to track that thing down. I think it might be this. I think. I don't know. Because we didn't hear it until we got the audio for this working. Any hoots? We got an intro to read. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I'm not even on the intro. Jeez. For more than 1,500 years, people have claimed to see something impossible beneath the dark waters of Scotland's famous lake. Kings, tourists, police officers, military veterans, scientists, sonar operators, ordinary families have all reported seeing a massive creature that shouldn't exist. Some photographs have been legendary, others were exposed as elaborate hoaxes. Expeditions have searched the loch with submarines, drones, underwater cameras, environmental DNA, and some of the most advanced sonar equipment ever deployed in fresh water. Yet the mystery refuses to die. Night. We're reopening one of the world's oldest cryptid cases. To answer this simple question, after centuries of sightings and decades of investigation, what is the best evidence that Nessie is real? Welcome, everybody. Yes, the intro is done. We've done the intro.
Woo!
Oh my gosh. Oh, geez, I almost showed off my... I'm just gonna...
You gotta be careful.
Yeah,
I thought you were
show off
covering
the
it up.
I can't show off the shirt yet. I'm just gonna slouch a little bit until we get to that point. Hello,
It's
everybody.
really cool.
I
It's really cool. Oh,
Ads. Okay, that's no big deal. We'll sit here. We'll talk about
sandwiches.
again
Sandwiches?
sandwiches.
Yeah.
We finish each other's.
Sandwiches?
Yeah. I'll move this. Up. I have microphone decorations this week. I said I was going to do it last week. Nothing special. I just put a bunch of googly eyes on the back of my microphone.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't want anything too permanent, so I just used double sticky tape. Well, I guess what world is that ads? I'll take this opportunity to say hello and welcome everybody to the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or later on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to the show, if you want to be part of the show while we're live, you're welcome to join us every Sunday evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Beyond the Shadows podcast. You are welcome to join us, and we have tons and tons of things that the viewers can interact with when it comes to the stream. I've spent a lot of time custom building this stream to make it as engaging as possible. The newest thing is our ad timer here at the bottom. So when ads pop up, not everybody can afford a subscription. That's fine. So when ads pop, listeners like to let us know. Oh, here's a great example. See, if you were live in the show, you could have been the one doing that. Another thing is here at the bottom right of the screen, I finally fixed our followers. Our scrolling followers text. Actually had to write some HTML to fix this. It was a freaking nightmare. I spent an hour and a half on just this scrolling bar of text down here.
Whoa.
This one right here. It was a freaking nightmare. OBS did not want to. It wasn't cooperating.
It never ceases to amaze me, like how talented and like how much knowledge you have to do all these different things. Because this is not your day job, but you just do all these things all the time.
I love doing this. I love streaming. I'm very, very far from a professional streamer, but I love doing it. And maybe one day I'll be a full-time streamer, but
I'm going to embarrass you and just tell everyone how lucky I feel to be married to such a smart and handsome and talented man.
Ah, jeez. You got to do all that.
Yeah.
Sailboats? Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, because those are the boats on Loch Ness. Are you back from Ads Worlds? Oh, almost showed off my cleavage. I feel like I've got like a low cut shirt on and I'm trying to cover my boobs.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to. Never mind. I was going to say you wouldn't want to do that on a stream.
Okay. Cool. Let's move forward. This week on the podcast, we are discussing the Loch Ness Monster, the best evidence that Nessie is real. Welcome, everybody. I'm Victus.
And I'm Hazel.
And good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Beyond the Shadows podcast. We are your personal, professional paranormal investigators, and this is the greatest paranormal podcast in the world, as long as you don't fact check it, where we record a live show, one take and no edits, and try to figure out if this week's case is truly paranormal or just bullshit. Hazel, how you doing tonight?
I've been dying for you to ask. I am highly caffeinated.
Ooh,
I've had lots of chocolate this weekend. I am just,
chocolate cake.
yeah. Gluten-free, dairy-free chocolate cake with chocolate icing. I am not myself. I am acting out a little just because I'm so happy and excited and in a good, positive mood.
Awesome.
I'm forgetting that it's Monday tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
wasn't much of a weekend.
yeah, but I'm in a really, really, really good mood. A really good mood. How are you, Victus?
I'm doing good. I've noticed my voice is on point tonight. I'm channeling my inner let's game it out.
Yeah.
I feel good. My voice feels good tonight, which is, I don't know, maybe it's because working outside yesterday. We're about to find out if the green beer can is the one that we've been looking for.
Yeah, I hope it is.
I think it is.
He came in last night and he was like, I think between the Voodoo Rangers, he's always trying to decide, is the green or the orange one his favorite? And last night he's like, I think it's green.
I think it's green.
And so we made all these mental associations last night so we could remember, because I'm getting old and I can't remember
So
anything for
I
12
just had
hours.
an orange one. Finished an orange one.
Okay.
It's green.
Yay!
It's green.
I'm glad, because I made a lot of mental associations for
It was
that,
green.
and that was going to require a
Cool.
hard reset of my brain if it was not.
Yeah, so green can. Those of you interested, Tropic Force Voodoo Ranger is amazing. We are not sponsored by by Voodoo Ranger. We'd love to, but we don't have enough people watching, and they will not accept our emails. But Voodoo Ranger Tropic Force is incredible. It's the best. Anywho, I'm trying. I don't want to show off my shirt yet. Glad everybody's here. Welcome in. I see James is over in YouTube land. Welcome, James. We do have a couple new things I want to point out tonight. We have commands. I finally got some commands set up for Twitch.
These are really cool.
The first one, which is my favorite because I would love for people to participate in this, creating content for social media is really difficult, especially when you work 40 plus hours a week and all my free time is sitting and decompressing from work after work. I don't have time to really go through and make clips. I tried a few clip generation websites and they're inconsistent. However, if you type in !clip, it will clip the previous 30 seconds and the next 30 seconds. And it will post them to Twitch automatically. And I've also got a button where I can clip natively. We also have the lurk command. Well, we're going to go ahead and pop a couple of these so you can see what's going on. If you're interested, those of you watching live on Twitch, if you scroll down a little bit, you will see the command window. And you can see what's available. So lurk is one of them.
Beyond the Shadows podcast is being abducted by a UFO. Maybe they'll bring them back. Let's wait and see. Thanks for the lurk.
So there's lurk, ! Lurk could get you that. We also have unlurk, which is one that I've never actually seen before, but apparently it is a thing that people like.
Beyond the Shadows podcast was graciously returned by the UFO. Welcome back.
We also have, I'm not going to type in this one, but ! Socials will give you a link to all of our socials, YouTube's, Instagrams, Facebook group, and what else? We also have !welcome. So anytime somebody new comes in,
Welcome to the greatest paranormal podcast in the world, as long as you don't fact check it.
there you go. If anybody new pops in, feel free to slap that up there. But please, don't be scared to clip some stuff, folks. Really helpful to us. It's so hard to create content for social media. That's where 90% of our traction comes from is shorts.
Especially because we might think something is funny, but they might not, and they might think something is funny, and we didn't realize it because we were like,
But if you guys think something is worth clipping, go ahead and hit exclamation point clip for me. I think isn't there just a button that you can click if you're watching the stream. I don't remember. I don't watch too many streams. Any hoots. Yeah, so that's the big update.
Lip. Thanks for subscribing.
Oh,
hey. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw that pop up the other day. I don't make too big of a deal of it. Welcome in. Thanks, Blip. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Oh, we can do this. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong window. Womp womp. So many windows open.
Welcome to the greatest paranormal podcast in the world, as long as you don't fact check it.
And also, I have automated our now investigating banner at the top of the screen.
Hello, worlds.
So automatically the now investigating. Wait. What is that?
I don't know. That's something like about
what
SEO
what
or
do I
something.
got in my freaking title for today?
I don't know.
Absolutely based on the SEO strategy. Oh, it was stuff I was looking up earlier.
Oh.
Jeez. Yeah, I've been reading a lot about SEO lately, and I'm trying my best to make SEO work for us. And apparently, me copying and pasting has backfired. There we go. Let's update this. Cool. So that's going to update. What episode is this? 226. Oh, 326. So this is our halfway point between. Oh, I did that backward, didn't I? 326.
I do that all the time now. Like I switch numbers. I either switch the numbers or letters now on a regular basis. Oh, this is the thing.
What's that?
It was this. I
Oh.
bumped into it.
We can move that if it's in your
And
way.
I never did that before, so I'm wondering, like, am I developing dyslexia? Like,
I've
is that
always
part
done
of
it.
getting older?
I have always done it.
No, I've never done that until this past year. Maybe you're just rubbing off on me.
Don't look at my shirt. Don't look at my shirt. Don't look at my shirt. Stay out of my room. Stay out of my room. All right, so here in like 40 or 30 seconds or so, that little banner at the top will automatically update itself. Took some doing. I also wrote HTML for that. It ties into Twitch, so anytime I change the title of the name of the podcast or name of the stream, it automatically updates it. And if it doesn't, yeah. If it doesn't, we're going to be stuck reading my search results about
SEO.
SEO integrations. It should update.
That's the really scary paranormal stuff right there.
Wait, I think I can manually refresh it. No, it didn't work. It's fine. We'll just get rid of that for now. I see Poke Your Eyes Out Radio's here.
Hello, Poke Your Eyes Out Radio.
I'm going to use the hell out of these things now that I got them.
Welcome to the greatest paranormal podcast in the world, as long as you don't fact check it.
Thank you for being here. Jeez Louise, wow, what a mess already. And I sat here for like 2 hours and I thought for sure, this is the week, no problems, I got it.
You really did. But that,
Fail.
it's not, I think that's not on you. You've got a whole system that you were bringing back up.
Oak, how you doing? Let me get some shout outs here.
Sorry, I got kids.
Nah, you're good. Wow, what am I doing here?
Poke, good luck. Go check out Poke Your Eyes Out Radio at twitch.tv/Poke Your Eyes Out Radio and go show them some love. At Worlds of Confusion, thanks. Go check out Worlds of Confusion at twitch.tv/Worlds of Confusion and go show them some love.
Yes, there you go. I don't think Blip's a streamer. Blip, do you stream? I know you're in Twitch. I know a lot of people on Twitch don't stream on Twitch. But if you do, I'll give you a shout out. No big deal.
Then we'll start watching, because that would be nice of us.
Usually I follow the people that follow me. I do my best.
No, I am a mystery man.
Well, that's fine.
Ooh.
That's fine. Like Josh from Let's Game It Out, who we saw his face today
We've
know what he
already
looks
referenced
like.
him twice.
Yeah.
It's because it's very fresh on Victus's memory right now.
I love Let's Game It Out. Is my favorite. He's my favorite YouTuber. And dude's voice is just golden, magical.
And you finally figured out what he looked like, and he doesn't look like what we thought he looked like.
No. So he has a reputation for playing games the wrong way and breaking them. And he does a lot of like factory games.
So I am thinking I should pull my forge and anvil out and see if I can synth and forge this week.
Oh. Yeah, for sure. Excuse me. But yeah, he does like Satisfactory a lot, anything with conveyor belts. And then he's famous for making spaghetti factories. And my favorite comment on the video that we saw today of Josh from Let's Game It Out was, he doesn't look insane.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely amazed.
Yeah.
You really need to go check out his. I wish he was. I mean, he is a streamer, but
He's got a very calming voice.
cool.
And we
cool
can,
dude.
like, we first started dating, we used to fall asleep to his channel a lot. Like, we enjoyed it, but also it was just very soothing. Soothing
It's
voice.
a cool little channel.
He's got, like, just enough vocal fry.
Yeah.
Make it good.
So I say when I'm having good vocal days for the podcast, I told her that I feel like I'm channeling my inner Josh, which is the host of Let's Game It Out. Go check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Anywho, let's move forward, and we're lollygagging, we're dilly-dallying, we're beating around the bush here. Hazel's bored and she's dancing, and I'm tired of slouching, so
I'm not bored. I just have a lot of energy.
it's fine. Bring it. We'll take it. Because tonight's going to be a madhouse. Tonight we are discussing the Loch Ness Monster. Begrudgingly to me, everybody knows how I feel about the Loch Ness Monster, but everybody showed up last week towards the end of the podcast with pitchforks and torches. And
Did you say your gag is lolly flavored?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It is. So what? Jealous? Jealous much?
God.
Jealous much?
Okay, cool.
Whoa, what did I do? Wow. Cancel that. Anywho, folks, let's get into this week's news and paranormal.
No, just making sure I heard it.
Oh,
no king shame here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I failed to write an intro for this week's News and Paranormal, so we come to everybody's favorite segment, this week's News and Paranormal, where we look at the most interesting headlines in news this week pertaining to the paranormal. Let's get into it, everybody. First up, we have a new UFO investigation series coming to television. If you're looking for more UFO content after tonight's show, there's a new series on the Horizon Television presenter Bradley Walsh has been... Walsh? Wait, why do I know that name?
You're thinking the other Walsh, I think, probably. The Walsh prior to this Walsh.
What was he host of? Was it like America's Most Wanted?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
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 Maybe it's his son or something. I don't know. Anyway, the series promises to investigate UFO encounters, crop circles, underwater anomalies, alleged military sightings, and even the legend of Atlantis. With access to historical cases from both the United Kingdom and the United States, whether the show uncovers anything genuinely new remains to be seen, but it's another sign that mainstream networks continue to invest in an unexplained phenomena because the public interest simply isn't fading.
Government UFO files continue to fuel debate. The latest batch of U.S. government UAP files is still generating discussion throughout the UFO community. While officials describe the release as another step toward transparency, researchers remain divided over its significance. Supporters argue that even unresolved military reports deserve public scrutiny, while skeptics point out that none of the newly released material confirms extraterrestrial technology. As with previous document releases, the biggest takeaway isn't proof of aliens, it's that there are still aerial incidents authorities cannot confidently explain.
And The search for answers continues after the Pentagon's UFO videos. A new investigative book and accompanying interviews are reigniting discussions around the Pentagon's famous UFO videos. Journalist Daniel Lavelle retraced many of the people's locations and claims that helped launch the modern UAP conversation after 2017. His conclusion is measured. While some military encounters remain unexplained, many of the strongest public claims surrounding the recovered craft, alien technology, still lack independent verifiable evidence. It's a reminder that the mystery is more complicated than either true believers or complete skeptics would like to admit.
Disclosure Day has everyone talking about UFOs again. Steven Spielberg's new science fiction film Disclosure Day has finally arrived in theaters, and although it's fiction, it's already having an interesting effect on public conversation. The film centers on humanity's response to evidence of extraterrestrial life and has sparked renewed online interest in real-world UFO investigations, government disclosure, and historical cases. Pop culture has always played a major role in shaping public fascination with the unexplained, and this appears to be another example of entertainment sending people down the rabbit hole of real paranormal history, just like Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Volume 2.
And finally, paranormal tourism continues to grow. It's not just television that's embracing the unexplained. Paranormal conventions and mystery-focused events continue to expand across the United States, bringing together investigators, historians, cryptid researchers, and UFO enthusiasts and curious newcomers under one roof. Whether attendees leave believing a little more or a little less, the popularity of these events shows that the public fascination with ghost monsters and the unexplained phenomena remains stronger than ever. And if any of these cases prove to be true or need further investigating, we will take care of it here on Beyond the Shadows podcast. Let's get into this week's episode. I want to do a little sidebar. It did not make this week's News and Paranormal, but I've been monitoring the social medias, and there is a growing trend of an impending zombie apocalypse. Last time we dealt with this, it was bath salts in Florida. I'm sure you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
However, some of these new videos are really, really disturbing. I'm gonna let y'all go down those rabbit holes. We won't be showing any of it here tonight because they are violent and bloody, and it's either a zombie outbreak about to happen, or they're priming the public for a new zombie movie.
That's it right there.
We'll see. Really interesting
Beyond the
videos.
Shadows podcast. Hi, I am here for your Loch Ness Monster segment.
Oh, fantastic. Great design. Oh, yeah. You're the fellow that commented on my video.
I'm so glad we're only laughing because now we're under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Now we're under a lot of pressure.
Shit, yeah.
I'm the only non-believer in the room.
No, you're not.
I am. I know I am.
I think you know what I think.
I know that you think it's real. Oh, you think it's a beaver.
Yeah. He forgot. We're married and he forgot.
Anywho, it's welcome. Oh wait, I can do I get to do the welcome message. Yes, welcome.
I am prepared to be swayed, though.
Welcome to the greatest paranormal podcast in the world, as long as you don't fact check it.
Welcome in, friend. Glad you're here. Get ready for some serious mystery, some shenanigans. We are going to fully investigate the case of the Loch Ness Monster tonight. We just have one tiny little segment to get through before. Get ready for some pure shenanigans, because this is just a regular format.
I am into the lake monsters, sea monsters, reptilian beings, and Mothman.
Fantastic. We are currently located in Virginia, and we love Mothman.
Victus especially. He just sent me a Mothman meme yesterday.
Yeah. A great meme, by the way. If anybody hasn't seen it, it's a connection of the very hungry caterpillar making poor life decisions, turning into the Mothman. I need to... Sorry, my fan came unplugged. Or Died?
Oh, is this your new fan?
My new fan, yeah.
Oh, I hope it didn't die. You just bought that today.
I just found out that it's not charging off of the USB-C cable because it's probably too high of amps. There we go. Look at that.
Nice.
I need a fan. I run very hot constantly. I guess that's gonna have to charge a bit. That's fine. It's fine. Welcome, friend. Glad you're here. We're gonna have some fun.
Who'd you call this week?
Who'd I call? You want to know who I called?
Who?
I called a guy who faked the original Loch Ness Monster. I don't know his name off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
So hold on. Let me cue this up. Let me grab my phone. Oh, trusty over here. And I fixed the volume issue, so we should have nice, clear volume on the phone.
So Grand Designs Enjoyer, we Victus calls someone every week.
Every week.
Due diligence.
Because I spent so much time turning this old microphone or this old telephone into a microphone.
Saint Columba.
And we're going to use this damn
You should
thing.
look at the other lake monsters in Britain. Loch Mora, Loch Marie, Loch Oik, Lake Windermere.
We do have plans in the future to cover the Great Lakes, and there are a great deal of all manner of cryptids in and around the Great Lakes. I grew up in the Michigan area, so the Great Lakes hold a place near and dear to my heart. And I remember growing up hearing a lot of things from my grandparents, because my whole family's from that area, and they've always been from that area. And I just haven't been able to pull enough together to make a full satisfying episode yet. I want to cover certain things, so I'm hitting broad strokes, but on the flip side of that coin, I'm also like making sure I hit some details, some very important details with the Great Lakes cryptids. It's in the future. It's in the works. Is that music still playing?
I don't hear it.
I don't have my headphones on, so.
No, I don't hear it.
All right. I don't remember this guy's names, but I called him anyway.
And then he was eaten. Then Nessie ate him.
Yeah, and then Nessie popped out and chomped him in half in one bite. Okay. So I've been yucking this shirt up since the show started.
He was so cute yesterday. It came in the mail. He's like, do you want to not see it until tomorrow? I was like, but I will see it because we live together.
I could have put on like a jacket or something. I would have gladly hidden it. I have many ways of hiding shirts.
Yeah, but you're always so hot anyway.
I run very hot all the time. So I have this very special shirt tonight, just for tonight's episode. And Worlds, you're gonna love this. I hope y'all are ready. Because it contains the two cryptids that I do not believe are real talking to each other. Check it out.
That's great. That's great. Bruh.
Bruh.
Hell yeah.
I knew Worlds would love it. I knew it. Now I can stop slouching. Oh my gosh. Oh, my back hurts now. Cool little shirt though. I'm not gonna lie. The freaking Bigfoot.
Oh wow, that's a great shirt.
It was kind of perfect. I saw it and I got very excited very quickly, and I finally found the time frame for me getting a shirt through Amazon.
Yeah.
So I know what day I have to order them to get them here by the time we go live on Sundays.
Well, at least we think we do, unless they switch it up on you.
Yeah, we're week away from everything. Geographical oddity.
Yeah. Yep. I don't have anything really exciting to follow up that. Like, I can't follow up that shirt today. I will say my hoodie, which is a Virginia hoodie, we got on our
first trip.
Our big bus trip that we took. We have a redesigned bus, the school bus, into a camper, and we got. Did you get a Virginia shirt too, or was it just me? I think I was just cold.
You were cold, yeah, that's what it was. There was snow on the ground when we made the trip.
Yeah, and then underneath it, I have my Dead on the Vine shirt, which is a local event.
It's cool.
I didn't actually attend it; someone else did and got the shirt for me. I don't even drink, but it's a winery kind of event here. So the Grateful Dead winery event. So, but one of my friends who I love very much gave it to me. But
give me a second, because my desktop fan took a shit. Correct.
You have a school bus camper. You guys are cool.
Oh, well, thank you. We do have one, but it has been sitting for a couple of years now because we don't really go anywhere.
Priorities have changed.
Yeah,
I think.
They used to be different. I mean, we bought it during COVID.
Yeah. It was a great project. Don't get me wrong.
We started dating and we decided, what the heck? Let's have a whole project to work on together, and undertook this project.
We did it. And there it sits, unfortunately. We're hoping to finds a new home soon.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. We are hopefully going to sell it, only because we want it to get used.
Let's see if Now Investigating has fixed itself. It just bothers me that it's not up there scrolling. It's been so much work on that HTML. There we go. Now it's fixed.
So every time I do this, I just want you all to picture the Elmo meme where he's standing in front of the fire, because that's what I mean. And I did that earlier, and then I also felt the drive to do that when you fixed it. Yes.
Yes. Worlds has access to that. There it is.
Yes. It's probably one of my favorites. It's definitely in the top 5. I think about it more than I should.
It is a really good one. Yeah, that one, and Louise from Bob's Burgers laughing, doing the evil laugh.
Yeah.
The episode where she loses her ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
All right, jerks. You guys ready to get into this investigation? Because we have a very special investigation tonight. This was a listener submission. Definitely wasn't my idea. So usually the roles are reversed, right? So usually I'm the diehard and you're the skeptic. And I think tonight I'm going to be the skeptic. However, we've got lots of evidence to look at. We're going to pull up some photos. We're going to look at some things. We're going to go through this investigation. And I hope that World sticks with us so she can hear the end. And everybody will be satisfied.
And everybody can vote. Don't forget.
Yes. We have when we get down to Act 5, we're going to give everybody a chance to vote on whether or not we believe the case is paranormal or not paranormal.
That is absolutely paranormal.
There you go. Yeah. So that's just a redemption. But at the end, we will do a vote. And I guess the way the system works is whoever votes correctly gets channel points. Gets a tiny chunk of channel points. I think there's a pre-configured lump sum of channel points, and whoever guesses If it's multiple people, they get to split the channel points. And honestly, everything on this channel is super cheap. I want everybody to react to the stream and have fun with it. So everything's really cheap. Doesn't cost any money. It's all free. All you gotta do is watch the stream and you get channel points. So
You get a channel point, and you get a channel point, and you get a channel point.
and you get a channel point. Yes, everybody gets channel points. They are called big feats. Yeah, in case you didn't know. So you can do sweet things like the basil bass drop.
Ooh.
Basil based drop.
Or you could tell Worlds of Confusion that you're the best.
You the best.
Eddie Hoots and Hollers, let's get into Act 1. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I guess before we dive too far off into Act 1, what do you know about Loch Ness? Ooh,
I
love the little
know
controller thing.
that all the pictures, the idea, I think, is for it to look like Littlefoot,
Littlefoot, yeah.
like a swimming
Yeah.
version of Littlefoot. But that there was a sightings TV or sightings show about
I know
it.
it's real.
All right.
There was a sightings show about
So
it.
there we go, folks. With the investigation is over, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for being here tonight. Worlds of Confusion has spoke up, so thanks everyone for being here tonight. I hope to look forward to it's irrefutable evidence. I've seen the cartoon footage, and thanks for being here tonight. We'll see y'all next week. No, I'm joking.
Oh my gosh.
I'm joking. You're not going to get off that easy. We got an investigation to do. Continue with your Littlefoot theory, please.
No, the sightings show did an investigation on it, and there was this. We're gonna call them an expert because that's what they were called on the sightings show. But I believe Worlds is probably
https://clips.twitch.tv/renowned_cat-mu_x6fjlpp4
It wasn't supposed to do that, but it did it anyway. Okay.
But I believe
Cool.
Worlds is probably going to disagree with them being called experts. But so they said that the picture that was submitted that was supposed to be Nessie matched a picture of a beaver, and they showed like the outline of the beaver. And
Yeah.
that's how I've gotten stuck
Yeah.
on this theory, because I got really invested in just this beaver being mistaken for Nessie. And like how cool it would be to be that beaver, and you have this larger than life thing. Like, don't come to my pond. This is my pond.
I got you. I'm with you. Yeah, it was a really bad photo. It was clearly a beaver, and
Get off my pond.
get off my pond. A guy was able to go out and just randomly photograph a beaver, and it was the exact same pose, just from a slightly different angle. And it's like, this is clearly a beaver. Any hoots. We have an investigation to make before we make conclusions.
We do. And you know what? I am willing to change my mind. I am willing, like, if there's evidence that it looks like it's not a beaver, I am willing to change my mind.
Okay.
Am I going to be disappointed that there's not some just bad mamma jamma beaver out there doing their thing? Yes. But I'm willing to be disappointed.
Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll queue up the evidence that Worlds of Confusion has sent me later, and we'll look at it, and we'll see if it's irrefutable or not.
Okay.
I'm on the fence. It's pretty good. It's pretty good video, and we'll probably take a look at that later.
Okay.
But for now, we have Act 1 to
Yes.
get into. Yes, we have Act 1 to get into, and we're going to thoroughly scrub this investigation to make sure we get all of the loose ends together. So without further ado, this is Season 3, Episode 26. Halfway through Season 3, everybody. Congratulations to us. Let's do a confetti one time. Season 3, Episode 26 of Beyond the Shadows podcast. This is the Loch Ness Monster episode. This is Act 1, everybody. Act 1. So when most people think about the Loch Ness Monster, they picture a long neck rising from a dark water, or the famous black and white photograph that captivated the world. But the story of Nessie didn't begin with photographs or newspaper headlines. According to the legend, it began more than 1,500 years ago. And to understand why so many people continue searching for that creature today, we first need to understand the place itself. Because Loch Ness is unlike almost any other lake on Earth. Loch Ness lies in the Scottish Highlands about 23 miles southwest of Inverness, stretching roughly 23 miles long, reaching the depths of 755 feet. It is one of Scotland's deepest freshwater lochs. More remarkably, it contains more freshwater than all of the lakes in England and Wales combined. Surrounded by steep hills and dense forest, the loch has an isolated, almost eerie atmosphere. Mist often rolls across the water without warning, and changing weather can transform a calm surface into dark, choppy waves within minutes. One of the reasons Loch Ness has remained so mysterious is the water itself. Rainwater flowing through the surrounding peat-covered hills stains the loch a dark brown, allowing very little sunlight to penetrate below the surface. Visibility underwater is often measured in only a few feet, making it incredibly difficult to see what lies beneath. Even with modern diving equipment and remote-operated cameras, investigators have struggled to obtain clear images. Whether that's simply a challenge for science or the perfect hiding place for an unknown animal has been debated for decades. Long before anybody used the name Nessie, Scottish folklore was filled with stories of mysterious creatures inhabiting deep lakes and rivers. Legends told of the Kelpie, a supernatural water horse said to lure travelers to a watery grave. And each... what is... is that just a typo? Or whatever. And a similar creature believed to be even more dangerous. The tales were commonly thought throughout Scotland and likely served as warnings about the dangers of deep waters. They also helped create a culture in which strange sightings were taken seriously rather than dismissed outright.
Ghosty.
I love the ghosts. They're the best. The earliest written account associated with the Loch Ness Monster dates back to the year 565 AD. And it involves an Irish missionary, Saint Columba.
The world's referenced earlier, I believe.
Yes. According to a biography written about his life, Columba, encountered local people burying a man who had supposedly been attacked by a fearsome beast while swimming in the River Ness. Columba reportedly instructed one of his followers to cross the river, and as the creature charged towards the swimmer, Columba raised his hand, made the sign of the cross, and commanded the beast to stop. The creature immediately retreated, astonishing everyone who witnessed the event. It's important to approach this story with caution. The account was written more than a century after Columba's death, and was intended to highlight his miracles rather than document wildlife. It also describes an encounter in the River Ness rather than the Loch Ness itself. Even so, it remains the earliest known written story linking the region to a mysterious aquatic creature, and has been a cornerstone of the Nessie legend. After Saint Columba's account, historical references become surprisingly scarce. There is no uninterrupted record of a monster sightings stretching across the centuries. Instead, there are occasional local stories and scattered reports, but nothing that attracted widespread attention. For hundreds of years, Loch Ness remained simply a remote highland loch known for its natural beauty, rather than for any legendary creature. Everything changed in the early 1930s. Improvements to the road running alongside the loch suddenly made the area far more accessible to visitors. And for the first time, thousands of motorists had an unobstructed view of the water as they traveled through the highlands. Whether that resulted in more genuine sightings or simply more opportunities for mistaken identity is still debated. But one thing is beyond dispute. In 1933, a series of eyewitness reports would transform a local Scottish legend into an international mystery. Within months, newspapers around the world were publishing stories of a giant creature lying beneath the surface of Loch Ness. Scientists, photographers, adventurers, and curiosity seekers all descended on the highlands hoping to catch a glimpse of what locals had whispered about for generations. The modern hunt for the Loch Ness Monster had officially begun. It wouldn't be long before one remarkable sighting would ignite a phenomena that continues to this very day.
So one of the things I like about Nessie is that this is a cryptid that does not have a humanoid shape. And there are so many cryptids that have humanoid shapes, and that's something you and I have talked about before in terms of like aliens and cryptids and how in a lot of these depictions they have humanoid shapes, which gives a whole other problematic aspect to the whole situation to begin with. Yeah. Because our imaginations want to make something look like us, but maybe slightly distorted if it's going to be paranormal. And
like Polaroidolia.
Yeah. And so I guess that's one of the things I like about Nessie. Another thing that I find interesting about this act, just kind of setting this up a little bit, was when people just descend on this area because they've heard these stories and they're all. It reminds me of like storm chasers, all these people who are going after like a tornado or something. And I look at those people and I understand that some of them are getting like scientific evidence and that might help us prepare for disaster. But when I think about Nessie, like if you thought that something like that existed in a waterway, I don't think there's any real reason to like risk your life to go out there to go see it. Like, just let it be. Yeah. Let it do its thing. It's my pond. Get off my pond. It's not really a pond, but I just like the way that sounds.
Well, I like it. So this was the first cryptid I was really interested in. You know, the Bigfoot story always kind of interested me, but at the same time, I was always a little skeptical. It's too easy to fake something like Bigfoot, right? But Nessie, being an aquatic thing, you know, as a youngster listening to Coast to Coast AM, I had a hard time figuring out how people would fake something the size of a plesiosaur. So I was a Jurassic Park kid. So like, you remember in elementary school when you had that special assignment where you had to do an assignment where it was write an essay about what you wanted to be when you grew up.
Oh, you wanted to be a paleontologist.
I wanted to be a paleontologist.
That's really
Everybody
cute.
in my class either wanted to be a policeman, a fireman, an astronaut. I was the only one who wanted to be a paleontologist.
That's really cute.
I was obsessed. And you could thank Jurassic Park for that. So I knew I had a foundation, and I was like, oh, well, if Loch Ness Monster is real, then we have a surviving ancestor of the plesiosaur.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure today what like the dimensions of a plesiosaur would be. So let me look it up right quick. Uh, 5 feet to 50 feet. So yeah, that's a pretty good. I honestly thought it was bigger.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was like gigantic, like a swimming brontosaur?
You know what though? I heard somebody talk about this the other day in a totally different context. Maybe it was the child's perspective.
Yeah.
Like you felt like it was bigger and you felt like it was different because you were seeing it through child's eyes rather than.
Do we have existing skeletons of the plesiosaur? Maybe that's why.
What if there's a skeleton of a plesiosaur in Loch Ness?
And it's just floating around covered in
and
junk.
There's like 3 beavers who operate this plesiosaur skeleton. And like, it's a generational thing.
When you grow up, you're going to take control of the skeleton.
There's Loch Ness Monster being which was reported on the ground and in the water. The biggest plesiosaur can reach 18 tons.
Which is huge. Yeah, it's just But I think it's what you said, you know, as a kid, I saw these giant skeletons in, you know, I was a National Geographic kid. One of the only things my grandma did for me was keep me a subscription to National Geographic. And I was the kid that hung posters from National Geographic in my bedroom.
Man, that must have been a grandma thing, because my grandma
Biggest plesiosaur
kept every
skeleton
one of
was
those
found in the
things.
mountains of Antarctica.
Oh, whoop, sorry, I'm gonna
You're
get you. Oh, really? The biggest plesiosaur skeleton was found in the mountains of Antarctica.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah, we've got some pictures pulled up here. We're looking at them, and you know, just looking at like the backgrounds of some of these actual skeletons, they're not that big. They really aren't that big. I was really expecting, you know, maybe it was again.
Can you look up the one Grand Designs Enjoyer said, the biggest plesiosaur skeleton?
Let's see if we can find a picture of it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was hoping to find a good picture of it, but like here, I'll pull this one up.
This makes me think of Animal Crossing and the
Yeah.
fossils museum.
Yeah. So just glancing at it, like my brain says, "Oh, well, this is huge," but then you look at like the ceiling behind it, and immediately it looks small.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's suspended, but
Yeah, I do think it could be a perspective thing. Plus, we're just looking at the skeleton. We're not looking at all the meat it had on its bones.
right, absolutely. I was hoping to find. Oh, here we go. This is a good image. It's small, but there's the skull next to a human.
Yeah, that honestly,
That makes more sense.
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like, that would be something you would be frightened to be in the water with.
Absolutely, because that's a couple chomps and you're swallowed.
I mean, I'm 5'3". That's a one chomp for me.
Let's see if we have any others. So here we go. Yeah, this will kind of give you a little bit of perspective. Again, these small pictures. You see, I wasn't expecting it to be so small. Like,
That looks like a really tall dude next to it, though. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Maybe that's just because there's a child in that photo too. But that guy looks very tall.
is it me or does that feel like that skull isn't right? Does that skull look cartoony to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just, I don't know. I just remember as a kid. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that'll give you some perspective. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Not a great image. Sorry it's so pixelated, but yeah, that's huge. That's like the size of a semi-truck. Yeah, that's something to be afraid of. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a big skeleton. That'd be a big creature. Okay, so I mean, honestly, you know, things in the wild.
Plesiosaur is a range containing loads of types, from tiny to giant size.
Yeah.
There's report of living mini plesiosaur that waters of Venezuela.
Ooh.
So, I mean, thinking about it, like, in the grand scheme of things, the younger the animal is, the more susceptible it is to be killed by whatever's in nature around it. So maybe we just see more skeletons of the smaller ones because it was literally the wild, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think of the. I mean, I say that, you know, like a adult-sized plesiosaur would be really difficult to kill, but then think of the things floating around in the water during the Cretaceous period. But we're talking about a cryptid, not a plesiosaur. So we're looking at different schools of thought here. And as a child, I assumed that Loch Ness was a descendant of the plesiosaur.
Yeah.
Oceans were higher back in the prehistoric times, and it stands to reason that, you know, we see this today.
In the Orinoco River are.
Yeah. I remember reading about that one. I remember hearing stories as a kid where sea levels had dropped and predatory sharks from the ocean were trapped in like saltwater lakes and river areas in the Florida region. So if it can happen today, who's to say it couldn't happen during prehistoric times?
Yeah.
It is surrounded by high hills, so maybe this area was shielded by like some meteor activity that happened.
Counterpoint. Nessie is a descendant of the giant beaver.
Touche. Touche.
Oh my gosh. Too funny.
You've got a friend tonight. You got a friend tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez. Jeez Louise. Okay, well, before we get into Act 2, I've got to use the bathroom already.
Okay.
Do you want to take a quick break?
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. We are middle-aged adults, and we have to use the bathroom regularly, so hold with us, folks. We're going to use the bathroom right quick and watch these annoying videos of me rambling about nothing until we get back. We'll be right back, folks. What's misunderstood in history is because we've begun arguing about what it looks like instead of what it does. It doesn't chase. It doesn't attack. It influences. And influence leaves no claw marks. Whoops. I didn't mean to do crickets. I didn't mean to do crickets. Sorry.
Hey, Kate.
All right, so we've come down to it. That's the end of Act 5. Shark, you do have a point. He's not being hypnotized. I get it.
Sea.
So.
And they're at sea for months, like when you're that thirsty.
Right? Right. It's so like you're a ship full of guys, and you
Are
hear.
we not seeing the cable as there is not light on it?
Well, that's what I was showing you. Was I work on boats, so I know how these trollers work. They drag behind the boat, not next to the boat. This is because a lot of people are saying now he could be an interdimensional being, and that's why we don't see him anywhere, because he travels in between dimensions. And this kind of lends credence to the idea that the woods do hold some type of spiritual power, some type of energy that can't be explained. Many describe the tall, dark figure standing in their bedroom. Not a vague shadow, but something with shape and presence, often thin, elongated, and unmoving. Some said it stood in the corner of the room. Others said it was right beside the bed. A few claimed it leaned over them, close enough that they could feel its presence without being touched. Almost everyone described the same overwhelming fear. Not a nightmare panic, not a confusion, but a deep instinctual fear. The kind that feels like prey realizing they're being watched. For most people, owls are just wildlife. But in abduction research across the world, owls will appear with shocking frequency, often as a screen memory, something the brain substitutes for something more traumatic. Many abductees later realized that the owl they remember didn't behave like a real animal. It didn't fly away when approached. It seemed to stare with intelligence. In known, whale cells don't travel above the water. I pushed it because I really wanted
It was
you to.
filmed in 2023, apparently.
Yeah, you see, it. You're smiling. Stop laughing. Jeez, I've
I'm
already
only
had to say that I
smiling-
don't think
I'm
my
only
dream is
smiling.
real.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because you just admitted that you kind of pushed that a little bit with the sound, and the whole time you were doing it, I was like, I don't know if that's right.
The reason this cryptid may be the most misunderstood in history is because we've begun arguing about what it looks like instead of what it does. It doesn't chase. It doesn't attack. It influences. And influence leaves no claw marks. That made the surrounding airspace some of the most sensitive on Earth. It also made secrecy non-negotiable. The officers stationed at Roswell weren't rookies. They were trained to identify foreign aircraft, classify intelligence, and respond quickly to anything that threatened national security. They lived in a world of protocols, codes, compartmentalized information. Mistakes weren't just embarrassing, they were dangerous. Which is why what happened next still raises eyebrows nearly 80 years later. Hovering over it all was the same disturbing thread. In Act 3, we're going to focus directly on those nighttime experiences. The sleep paralysis epidemic that swept through Nome and why so many people describe the same terrifying beings in the rooms. Because that's where the story takes a turn from tragic to something far more unsettling. I would rather have a conversation than read a script any day. Tonight we're discussing the actual disappearances of Nome, Alaska from 1970s up until 2020 that inspired the movie The Fourth Kind. And it wasn't just disappearances, it was strange happenings, high strangeness in the purest form, lights in the skies, shadow figures, sleep paralysis, owls, barn owls in a state where we're not supposed to see barn owls. Release the Epstein files, damn it.
I say EPIs to bypass blockers.
Right, yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, so if this podcast doesn't come back next week, it's because the government shut down our podcast, so I used it. Hello, friends. We've returned. Good gravy.
Sorry, I was reading the chat from while we were gone. It also took us longer because not only are we old and have to make multiple bathroom visits, but I had to take my medicine.
Yeah, it's okay.
Whole ordeal.
We're adults. It happens.
We're old adults.
We're not your average streamers.
Old millennials.
Alrighty.
And we have to climb up the stairs, which at our age takes a minute.
Our bathroom is downstairs, so it's a trip. The fucking voyage. So Grand Design said the Loch Ness Monster being reported can be actually multiple surviving ancient beings still alive at the moment in the lake. Plesiosaur, a sea snake, and a mosasaurus. Or mosasaurus, excuse me. Yes, I agree. At this point, I think sea snake is more reasonable.
Yeah.
I really do. My delusions as a child of wanting there to be an existing plesiosaur. Oh, geez. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense with some of these photos that I've seen, but we'll look at some of these photos here in a little bit.
iViewersStreamBoo.com.
Oh, we got a bot to take care of, everybody. Hold on. Thanks for your click, Mr. Botman, but you just got banned.
Yay!
Get out of here. Get out of here. We need a sound clip for getting rid of bots.
Get off my pond.
No, I'm thinking there's this guy who makes videos on Instagram where they're like lightly veiled as racist, but they're not towards people, they're towards robots. And they're like, Clanka, you better get back to work. And he's like dressed up like the Colonel from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh my gosh.
You better get back to work. You better get out there now.
I understand the reference, but I don't know that it's a very yeah.
Clanker? We'll find some great audio clip with the word clanker in it, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh.
I'll find something.
I like get off my pond better. I think that's more.
Get off my pond, Clanker.
No.
We can be anti-robot.
Yeah.
They're not real people anyway.
The Loch
Lord
Ness
have
Monster,
mercy.
which is southwest of the Loch Ness, is described only as a mosasaurus.
Mosasaurus. Let's look it up. Ah, yeah. That makes more sense. It's a little stout. It's a short boy. All right, are you ready to get into Act 2?
Yes, I am. I'm ready to read it.
All right, well, let's dive off into Act 2, and we'll see about what happened back in the 30s.
1933, when the monster returned. For centuries, the stories surrounding Loch Ness remained a little more than local folklore. Then almost overnight, everything changed. In 1933, a combination of improved roads, increased tourism, and a handful of extraordinary eyewitness accounts transformed Nessie from a Highland legend into an international sensation. Whether something truly appeared in the loch that year or whether more people simply began watching the water is impossible to know. But 1933 marked the beginning of the modern mystery. The first sighting to capture widespread attention came in April of that year. Aldi McKay, the manager of the Drumnadrocket Drumnadrocket?
Do we need to drop that one into Google Translate?
Maybe. I might be really butchering that. I'm sorry if I did.
Let's look it up right quick. Not Tractor Supply. Wow, how did they do that?
We don't really need to translate. I just need to pronounce it.
Drumnadrocket.
Drumnadrocket. I was so close.
Yeah.
Drumnadrocket Hotel was traveling with her husband along the newly improved road beside Loch Ness when she noticed violent movement on the surface of the water. She later described seeing what looked like an enormous creature rolling and thrashing before disappearing beneath the surface. She reportedly compared the disturbance to a whale breaking the water, an unusual description considering whales have no business living in freshwater Scottish loch. The story quickly reached the local newspaper editor Alex Campbell, who published the account in the Inverness Courier. Campbell referred to the unknown animal as a monster, and that single word would permanently shape the public's perception of the mystery. Before long, newspapers across Britain had picked up the story, and readers around the world became fascinated by the possibility that an unknown creature might inhabit the depths of Loch Ness. Just a few months later, another encounter would propel the legend even further. On July 22, 1933, George Spicer and his wife were driving along the southern shore of the loch when something extraordinary crossed the road directly in front of their car. Spicer described seeing a large animal with a long neck and bulky body moving awkwardly toward the water. He estimated it was several feet high and perhaps 25 feet long, although he admitted he couldn't see any clear limbs because of the vegetation along the roadside. Once the creature reached the shoreline, it disappeared into the loch. Unlike many later reports, the Spicers claimed they saw the animal on the land rather than in the water, and that made their account particularly compelling to many investigators because it was less likely to involve waves, floating logs, or unusual reflections. Skeptics have suggested that they might have encountered an escaped animal, a deer carrying vegetation in its antlers, or simply misjudged the size of something glimpsed for only a few seconds. Even today, the sighting remains one of the most discussed eyewitness accounts in the history of the case. As reports continued to spread, the media quickly realized they had a phenomenon on their hands. Newspapers began publishing almost every claimed sighting, no matter how brief or unusual. Tourists flooded into the highlands hoping to witness the creature themselves, and local businesses embraced the growing interest. Hotels filled with visitors, souvenir shops appeared, and the Loch Ness slowly transformed into one of Scotland's biggest tourist destinations. The sudden attention also encouraged more people to come forward with stories of their own. Some claimed to have seen large humps moving across the water. Others reported long necks rising above the surface before quickly disappearing. Fishermen described unexplained wakes, while motorists spoke of strange shapes visible from the shoreline. Not every report was credible, and many lacked enough detail to investigate properly, but together they created the impression that something unusual was occurring on a regular basis. Of course, not everyone was convinced. Scientists pointed out that eyewitness testimony is notoriously unreliable, particularly when observers are startled or viewing something at a distance. Loch Ness itself presents countless opportunities for mistakes. Boat wakes can interact in unusual ways. Strong winds create standing waves, floating tree trunks emerge after storms, and the dark water often obscures an object's true size and distance. A brief glimpse under those conditions can easily become something far more mysterious in memory. Still, public fascination only intensified. Amateur monster hunters began staking out the shoreline with cameras, binoculars, and notebooks. Researchers proposed rewards for definitive proof, while newspapers eagerly offered payment for exclusive photographs. What had begun as a handful of eyewitness accounts was rapidly becoming one of the biggest mystery stories of the 20th century. Then in 1934, the world would be shown a photograph that appeared to settle the debate once and for all. It depicted a graceful neck and a small head rising from the calm waters of the Loch Ness. For millions of people, it was undeniable proof that the monster was real. The image would become one of the most famous photographs ever taken, and decades later, it would become one of the most famous hoaxes in history. But as we'll see next, that single photograph was only a piece of a much larger body of evidence. Some of the strongest cases for Nessie don't come from still images at all. They come from film footage, sonar
real
contacts,
photo shows the paddle and the head,
underwater expeditions, and encounters that remain difficult to explain even today. Yeah, I think that what we're kind of setting up to find here. Victus usually does the scripts for us, so I think what we're setting up to find here is that there's going to be some additional evidence other than
Yes.
what you're about to see.
Yes. So we've all seen the photo, the famous photo. We're gonna.
Head is ugly, like a giraffe mixed with a bulldog.
Yeah, the descriptions of it, like physical descriptions of it, are like, I've heard a lot of stories of it, like having the head of a horse or having the head of a hippopotamus, like weird shapes put together.
I want a Nessie Potamus for Christmas.
She loves that song. Oh my gosh. Let's look at some photos. So this is the famous photo, the one that everybody has seen. But let me pick this apart, and I'm going to show it. And the reason we're going to pick this apart is because many decades later, this was proven to be a hoax. This photo. This was the photo that inspired so many people to come to Loch Ness. It was later determined to be a hoax by the person who did it. Looking at this photo by itself looks good. But did you know that there's more to this photo? That this is a zoomed in cropped version.
Oh, I didn't know that part, but the answer is yes, I did know there's more.
So check this out. This is the original photo zoomed out. It automatically looks really small, doesn't it? Yeah. Like zoomed in. Yeah, this could be taken out of context a little bit, sure. But the original photo, it looks very, very small. I don't quite remember if we talk about this. If we don't, we'll get into it later. But we'll talk about the hoax if it doesn't come up in the investigation. But this was determined.
There's photo of the back of Monster Crossing near Urquhart Castle in black and white.
Yeah, there is a great number of like really interesting photos. Hold on, let me switch this scene right quick. There are some really interesting ones. Let me pull these up. Get rid of the clear hoax photos. Don't look. Don't be cheating. There's your beaver photo. We'll look at that one. Where is the underwater photo? Where did it go?
And that photo hints that it is massive.
I'm trying to find this photo. Jeez, where'd it go? Like I accidentally stumbled on it earlier. Oh, there's one.
The problem is because of the proliferation of this story and the way that things have sort of been blown up over time, and then the way that artists and storytellers have also fictionalized Nessie in other areas, created other stories around and other pieces around Nessie that are not reflective of any type of evidence. There's so much of it. So while you're looking up these images, it's hard to get the actual evidence out of the kind of fictionalized depictions, we'll call them, of Nessie.
So I can't find the photo I was looking for. I don't know where it went to, but we'll look at a couple of these other ones here. So this was a really popular one. I don't know the exact date stamp on this one, but it was really popular because this image shows something very large compared to the original photo that we looked at just a minute ago. This one clearly is much, much, much larger, and it is doing, there's some thrashing going on. The way that we see some bends in the body here, they're not reminiscent of something like a beaver.
But it's definitely not a beaver.
Yeah, there's clearly like a tail here that can move independently from the body. I remember seeing this photo as a very young child, somewhere in the 90s. This one was all inside of books and magazines during the time. We do have, let's look at some of these other ones. So this is your photo. This is the photo that everybody said was Loch Ness, but later we were able to determine that this was a beaver. This is the image that they pulled on sightings.
Yeah.
And this was one of many of a series of photos. The photo before and the photo after clearly shows a beaver tail, and the investigator was able to find just a random beaver in the wild.
But it is unfortunate that even on that episode of sightings, that they didn't show any of the other images. Like, they showed that one.
Yeah.
And then they just proved it. And then they didn't show any of the others from my memory. Now, it is fair that we watch these typically pretty late at night, so it's possible that I missed something, but I don't remember them showing any others.
They didn't.
So.
They only went to disproving it.
Which also speaks to perspective, right? So, like, if you're someone like me who just kind of has only seen sightings and heard a couple of different things and hasn't studied, like, you know, you and Worlds and Grand Designs and Joyer have looked into this and, like, been big fans. My only exposure to Nessie is the beaver photo.
Yeah. Okay, well.
So.
We're about to look at one of my favorite photos. National Geographic sent a crew out to Loch Ness. I want to say it was the late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere around there. And this was during the proliferation of side-scanning sonar. So side-scanning sonar is, I'm very familiar with it because I work on boats. But back in the day, side-scanning sonar was they would tow something behind a boat, generally the shape of a missile, but it had a type of sonar device inside, and what it would do is it would send radio waves out, ping the area, and think of it like if I were to, so directly in front of me, there's a wall to my left, and then there's a wall a little further back. So if we were to ping this with sonar, you would clearly see this section of the wall because it's closer, because the sonar would ping back faster. All right. And you would eventually see the other wall because it would eventually ping back, and you would get a difference. Some color variations are added in to increase visibility. But this photo was during National Geographic's side-scanning sonar investigation. And these folks, God love them, they spent so much time because the width of the side-scanning sonar is so narrow, like 20-something feet. So in order to cover something that's many miles wide and long, think of how many times you have to go back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely.
But these guys did pull this incredible image. Are you ready to see this thing?
I'm ready to see it.
It is one of my very favorites. I love this. This is an image of side-scanning sonar.
Okay.
But, so what we're looking at here is a colorized version of side-scanning sonar. Generally, side-scanning sonar is like pinpoints, but we were able to, we weren't, but National Geographic was able to colorize this a little bit and able to kind of flesh it out a little bit. Clearly, we see a body with a long neck. The great thing about this image is it kind of depicts motion and movement, like towards the top of the neck, like right around here. The neck could be curved, and then you lose definition of the rest of it because it's clearly a three-dimensional object, and it's pitched at an angle. But this thing was pinged at like miles deep. Do you see it? Do you see the image?
I see the image. I'm just trying to decide. I'm trying to decide if it's the creature is upside down or if that's it right side up.
So I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can pull this image into Paint. I don't even know if I have Paint installed anymore, but
I feel like Basil when I'm like,
With your head turned sideways?
yeah.
All right, it's not a great image in paint, but I'm going to do my best here. All right, so I want to outline this. Let's outline it in white. Wow, paint has really come a long ways. So we got a head here. We got a piece of a neck. And a body. Don't let me get too far ahead of myself, but we have a little bit of an outline here, so this could be a fin. This is clearly a fin. We have a little outline here. We don't have an outline of a fin here, but...
Is it a fin or is it a leg? Because those other people said that it was on land for a hot minute. Across the road in front of them.
Right. We'll get to that in just a second. Hold on. This is really hard to do with a trackball mouse. I'm doing my best. So this is the general shape of what we see here. So we've got at least 3 of the 4 flippers. I think this is the tail because it follows the curve of the body. And clearly we can connect this. That's horrible. It's horrible. But the only thing is, like these dark spots kind of throw me off. But they are points of references. There is something floating in the water here. I don't know how they colorized, so I don't know if that's something closer or further away. But if this is something further away, we could connect this to that point back here, and we could have a tail.
A lot of ifs here.
There is.
A lot of ifs.
But if you see side scanning sonar like as much as I do, something like this is very possible.
So can you take all the fancy drawings you just did? Can we take those off of there even though you worked really hard on them? Is it possible to flip that image?
Flip the image? Let's go back to paint. I don't use paint. Oh no, it'd be 180 degrees, wouldn't it? Whoa, that was wrong. That was wrong. Where is rotate? Rotate? Hello? Rotate? I don't want to resize. I want to select. This should.
It's okay. You
I
don't have to.
don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't use paint. Oh, here we go. Wait, rotate.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then let's zoom back in. So if you're looking at this, right? If this was the correct direction, what would that look like to you?
I don't know. An anglerfish, maybe? I don't know. What are you getting at? What are you getting at? Come on, spit it out.
Because what if that top part was a beaver head and the back part was a beaver tail and it didn't connect all the way down?
And what is this?
A beaver leg.
A beaver leg? What is that?
Something else entirely.
Something else. I don't know. You're stuck on this beaver.
Clearly a giant beaver.
But here's the thing. All right, so let me flip scenes right quick. I want to see if I can find an image of side scanning sonar.
Yeah.
Seeing fish.
Here's that Polaroid Adolia again, though.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to. We're definitely picking. Geez, this is a bad example because technology has come a long way.
Too many sightings with huge, snake-like body.
See that other picture you showed me that looked like the big snake in the water?
Yeah.
That I could not explain away with the beaver theory. That was not a beaver. Not a beaver. So I like what Grand Designs Enjoyer is saying there, like that big long one that we saw, that's totally something else entirely.
Yeah. So this is current technology of side scanning sonar. We clearly have a fish. It's like a dot matrix fish. And this is 20 plus years of technology advancement. This is a fish. This is a fish. This is a fish. This is what side scanning sonar looks like today.
Yeah.
Here's another great image.
Ooh, look at those fishies. I see their little body outlines.
Yeah. So this is how far technology has come.
Also reminds me of Animal Crossing.
It does, right? We're clearly seeing fish. We're seeing the outlet. So it's like when you use side scanning sonar, you're sending sonar signals out, and these dark spots are sonar shadows, which is, the sonar signal doesn't penetrate, it bounces off. That's what it does. That's how we locate things underwater. However,
the nearby Loch sightings include only snake-like body.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if there's maybe something a little more snake-like in the water. There are a great number of snake-like things that could raise their heads. There's a lot of them. So it makes me wonder, surely, couldn't a snake in water raise its head?
There are plenty of water snakes in the world. So I think I'd be more inclined to lean in that direction than I would, in a plesiosaurus fashion. Like, traditionally of what we've seen in the pictures, I think I'd be more inclined to go, oh yeah, it's a giant snake-like thing.
Lots and lots of freaking images here. This is just wild. It's wild. Let's let's get into Act 3.
Okay.
Which is
the best evidence.
The best evidence.
It's called that.
Literally called the best evidence. We're gonna dive into this. World's is gonna love it. I know they will, because it is clearly the best evidence aside from what they sent me over the weekend. I'm still gonna queue that up, but before right near the end, so that way everybody gets a chance to see it before they make up their mind. We'll look at it at the end of Act 4. So that way, while everybody's voting during Act 5, they have time to process this incredible evidence that we've seen.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, folks, let's get into Act 3. We've been dilly-dallying, as Poke Your Eyes Out Radio's favorite thing to say. This is Act 3, everybody. Act 3, the best evidence. So by the mid-1930s, the Loch Ness Monster had become a worldwide phenomenon. Hundreds of people claimed to have seen something unusual in the water, but eyewitness testimony alone wasn't enough to convince everyone. If Nessie truly existed, there had to be physical evidence. And over the next 90 years, investigators would produce photographs, films, sonar contacts, and underwater images. Some would collapse under scrutiny, others would remain surprisingly difficult to dismiss. No piece of evidence is more famous than the 1934 surgeon's photograph, published in newspapers around the world, which is the one we looked at, the first one we looked at. It appeared to show a long neck and a small head rising above a calm surface of Loch Ness. The image quickly became the definitive picture of Nessie and remained so for decades. Its reputation was helped by the photographer's identity. The image was supplied by a London physician Robert Kenneth Wilson, who insisted he simply happened to capture the creature while visiting the loch. For more than 60 years, the photograph was accepted by many as the best proof of the monster existing. Then in the 1990s, the story unraveled. Investigations revealed that the image had been staged using a toy submarine with a small model attached to it. The hoax was reportedly organized in part by a big game hunter, Marmaduke Weatherwell, who had previously been ridiculed after presenting fake monster footprints to the press. The exposure of the hoax damaged the credibility of the Loch Ness mystery, but it didn't erase the many sightings that came before or after it. One of the strongest pieces of evidence arrived in 1960. An aeronautical engineer named Tim Dinsdale was filming the loch when he captured footage of a large object moving rapidly across the water. The film showed a dark shape creating a substantial wake or disappearing into the distance. Unlike the surgeon's photograph, this footage has never been conclusively proven to be fraudulent. Over the years, experts have reached different conclusions. Some analysts suggested the object was simply a boat viewed from an unusual angle, while others argued the wake pattern and apparent movement didn't match known vessels operating on the loch at the time. Even after digital enhancement decades later, no universal argument emerged. The Dinsdale film remains one of the most debated pieces of evidence in the entire case. We will look at that. I'm going to copy this right now so we can look it up. As technology improved, researchers shifted their attention beneath the surface. Sonar offered a way to search the loch even when visibility was near zero. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, several expeditions reported large underwater contacts that didn't immediately be identified. The most ambitious effort came in 1987 during Operation Deepscan. 24 boats lined up across Loch Ness and slowly swept the entire length of the loch using sophisticated echo-sounding equipment. It wasn't the largest sonar search ever conducted on the lake, it was the largest sonar search ever conducted on the lake, and most of the contacts turned out to be fish or underwater features, but several large moving objects briefly appeared on sonar before disappearing into deeper water. Investigators couldn't determine exactly what had produced those returns. While unexplained sonar contacts are not proof of unknown creature, they remain the most intriguing pieces of evidence because they came from a scientific equipment rather than eyewitness testimony. And those were the side scan sonar images we looked at right at the end of Act 2. Video evidence has also kept the mystery alive. In 2007, laboratory technician Gordon Holmes filmed a dark object moving across the surface of the loch for roughly 2 minutes. The object traveled at what was estimated about 6 miles per hour before slowly disappearing beneath the water. Wildlife experts proposed that it could have been an otter, a seal, or a swimming bird, creating an unusual wake, while others argued its movement didn't resemble any of those animals. Like many Nessie videos, it remains open to interpretation rather than providing definitive proof. Though that must be the video that is the famous beaver video. We say beaver. Otter is pretty well in the same family.
Yeah.
You need to move that?
I might end up needing to, only because I'm moving around so much and I keep bumping it. I feel like the cat.
You feel like the cat?
Yeah. Except I'm not doing it intentionally.
It's fine. No big deal. It's out of the way.
Out of the way.
Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the Loch Ness mystery isn't a single photograph or sonar contact, it's the sheer number of independent eyewitnesses. Over the decades, police officers, military personnel, fishermen, scientists, tourists, and local residents all have reported seeing large, unexplained objects in or near the loch. Many descriptions differ, which weakens the argument for a single identifiable creature, but the consistency of one detail is striking. People repeatedly describe something unusually large moving through the water where nothing that size is known to live. None of this evidence proves that the Loch Ness Monster exists. The most famous photograph was fake. Many sightings can likely be explained, and no physical specimen has ever been recovered. Yet despite decades of investigation, no single explanation accounts for every credible report. And that lingering uncertainty is exactly why scientists, cryptozoologists, and curious visitors continue returning to Loch Ness. The evidence may not be conclusive, but it has never disappeared either. So, Act 5 already? What?
I
Did
think
we?
you.
I didn't copy some of my script over. Hold on. Wow. Yeah, I botched that one pretty good. Let me close some windows. I missed a piece of the script. Jeez. You wanna banter for a minute while I do this?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I would like to see some of these things that you brought up. Do you have those other things, like the access to some of those other things that they brought up, as far as like
Which one
the
specifically?
video, the
Oh yeah. I need to find that video.
because I feel like we can talk about it all day long, but like some of us need a little bit of help in understanding.
The Dinsdale film. Yeah, let's see what we can find.
Go ahead and close out the other part.
Oh, it's this one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me cue this up.
Yeah, are you going to be able to have sound with that or no?
We're gonna mute it. We're gonna watch it muted.
Ooh,
It's okay. We don't need sound. It's not like it's
that's
gonna.
fine. I didn't realize that the ghost was in.
Ooh. Oh wow, was it that old? I thought it said it was the 90s. Oh, 1960s. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. All right, so this was the 1960s
Library of Scotland.
Dinsdale film. This is courtesy of the National Library of Scotland. This is a weird one. Okay. You ready?
Ready. Born ready.
All right. Check this out. There's no audio here, so don't be alarmed. You don't hear anything. It's definitely a little longer than anything I was anticipating. That's what she said. Is that dorsal fin?
Almost looks like it, doesn't it?
I mean, that's clearly a fin sticking up.
You want to know what I would not be doing? Calmly rolling that little thing around a video.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. All right. So that thing's like clearly moving some wake. I mean, like watch the front of it here. It's like clearly moving some water. So my initial thought is maybe a sturgeon, but I don't think a sturgeon would survive over there. It's weird because it's narrow. That's what's throwing me off.
Yeah.
If it were something more like akin to something fish-shaped, like the plesiosaur or mosasaur, it would be much, much wider.
Right.
But I mean, like, we're clearly seeing like a dorsal fin sticking up there. That's super weird. Super duper weird. And it's very long.
Yeah.
Which throws me off. Because, like, I've seen lots and lots of videos of like snakes going through the water. They undulate, the back and forth motion.
Yeah.
This is clearly not undulating. It's got a tail that's deeper down in the water. I don't know what would cause something this large to come to the surface. Especially to like poke its dorsal fin through the surface, right? Because that's part of how it,
This is not Dinsdale's film. This is older. Dinsdale's footage was filmed from far away. It is easily found on YouTube.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, let's look and see if I can find it.
Oh, maybe this is the next one.
Oh, maybe it's this one right here. It's got to get you this ad. Yeah, it makes it so hard to search for anything.
https://clips.tv/modernsneakybeefalo-bcz-lmgt1k
Yeah, thanks for the clip. Appreciate that. This is the Dinsdale film. Okay, yeah, this is something I've never seen before. I'm very interested already.
Oh.
Very interested. Let's check this thing out. Again, no audio, but already kind of interesting here. Huge wake. Huge wake. Oh, nice zoom in.
What if it just like came up out of the water and chomped that bird?
Right? Oh, wow. Okay. That looks like wake from a boat.
Yes, yeah.
That looks just like wake from a boat. I work on boats. I see this all the time. That looks like wake from a boat. But the footage before
Yeah.
does not look like a boat.
No.
At all. What we're looking at is thermal imaging. Unless this image or unless this footage, that's a boat. There's Will Ferrell. I watched a lot of SNL videos. Don't hate me. Don't you shame me. That does not look like a boat in any way. This is either thermal or nighttime, or the color has been inverted. This back here is throwing me off because it seems to be moving with it.
That's the snake-like shape that Grand Design was talking about.
Yeah, it feels like a boat.
Yeah.
But there is stuff happening clearly beneath the surface of the water that doesn't quite make sense.
The boat is included in boat appears right after.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the last clip there is the boat. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a boat. That is clearly a boat.
Mm-hmm.
This? I'm not so sure. I wouldn't call it a boat. Not at all. Definitely not a boat.
No, did you see the way that there's something that keeps coming out of the water behind it?
Yeah, like it's getting close to the surface.
Yeah, it's like not just the head, it's there's something behind it that keeps coming out of the water.
So it's interesting to me. It's like this.
Like watch back behind it.
So what we're calling the head here is clearly moving independently from the rest of whatever this is behind it.
Yeah, but watch what happens behind it. You see that ripple right there? That
right there?
It's almost like it's a body rippling out of the water.
Like an undulation? Yeah, like this part of it there.
Yeah.
The British Air Force Photography Lab confirmed that footage showed a living being.
Yeah, I don't...
You see that?
It's an undulation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't
Very
call
snake-like.
I wouldn't call it a boat. That's not a boat. That's not anything human made. And if it is, it's designed very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1960s, they could do some amazing things, but this isn't faked.
That's not a boat or a beaver.
No. Definitely not a beaver. Considering the bird. Do we need to see the bird again? Do we need to see the bird? Because
I do really wish, and I don't want to promote cruelty to birds, but you know, circle of life. I do really wish it would have came out and just went.
look, that bird is the size
the
of its head.
Perfect moment to capture that whole thing.
Jurassic Park moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the new ones. I don't like the Jurassic Park. Even though they had cool moments like that, they just weren't that good.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah. What an interesting piece of footage. I really don't know what to make of that. Yeah. There's another boat there. Yeah. What a cool piece of footage. Okay. Legit evidence.
Legit
I like
evidence.
it. I like legit evidence.
It's very far away, like about half a mile in the distance.
Which
Yeah,
even speaks more to the size.
And at that distance, you can clearly see what's beneath the water. And if the water is as murky as they're saying, how close, what do they say? Like the visibility was like 3 foot.
Yeah.
So it has to be within 3 foot of the surface of the water.
Yeah.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
Definitely.
Well, you ready to get into Act 4?
I am ready.
You need a break? You're good.
I might need a break.
You need a break?
I do need a break.
What about everybody else? Rest of you functioning adults, do you guys need a break right quick? Take a quick bathroom break, get you some chips, get some fucking beers.
So that body above water is big.
Yes, it is very large. But we're going to take one more quick break, and when we get back, we're going to rip through Act 4 and Act 5. And at the end of Act 4, we're going to get to the voting process to see if tonight's episode is truly paranormal or not. So, one more quick break, and we'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. What's misunderstood in history is because we've begun arguing about what it looks like instead of what it does. It doesn't chase. It doesn't attack. It influences. And influence leaves no claw marks. Whoops. I didn't mean to do crickets. I didn't mean to do crickets. Sorry.
He can't.
All right, so we've come down to it. That's the end of Act 5. Shark, you do have a point. He's not being hypnotized. I get it.
Sea.
So.
And they're at sea for months, like when you're that thirsty.
Right? Right. It's feel like you're a ship full of guys, and you
Are
hear.
we not seeing the cable as there is not light on it?
Well, that's what I was showing you. Was I work on boats, so I know how these trollers work. They drag behind the boat, not next to the boat. This is because a lot of people are saying now he could be an interdimensional being, and that's why we don't see him anywhere, because he travels in between dimensions. And this kind of lends credence to the idea that the woods do hold some type of spiritual power, some type of energy that can't be explained. Many describe the tall, dark figure standing in their bedroom. Not a vague shadow, but something with shape and presence, often thin, elongated, and unmoving. Some said it stood in the corner of the room. Others said it was right beside the bed. A few claimed it leaned over them, close enough that they could feel its presence without being touched. Almost everyone described the same overwhelming fear. Not a nightmare panic, not a confusion, but a deep instinctual fear. The kind that feels like prey realizing they're being watched. For most people, owls are just wildlife. But in abduction research across the world, owls will appear with shocking frequency, often as a screen memory, something the brain substitutes for something more traumatic. Many abductees later realized that the owl they remember didn't behave like a real animal. It didn't fly away when approached. It seemed to stare with intelligence. In Nome, whale sounds don't travel above the water. I pushed it because I really wanted
It was
you to.
filmed in 2023, apparently.
Yeah. You see, it. You're smiling. Stop laughing. Jeez, I've
I'm
already
only
had to say that I
smiling.
don't think
I'm
my
only
dream is
smiling.
real.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because you just admitted that you kind of pushed that a little bit with the sound, and the whole time you were doing it, I was like, I don't know if that's right.
The reason this cryptid may be the most misunderstood in history is because we've begun arguing about what it looks like instead of what it does. It doesn't chase. It doesn't attack. It influences. And influence leaves no claw marks. That made the surrounding airspace some of the most sensitive on Earth. It also made secrecy non-negotiable. The officers stationed at Roswell weren't rookies. They were trained to identify foreign aircraft, classify intelligence, and respond quickly to anything that threatened national security. They lived in a world of protocols, codes, compartmentalized information. Mistakes weren't just embarrassing, they were dangerous, which is why what happened next still raises eyebrows nearly 80 years later. Hovering over it all was the same disturbing thread. And in Act 3, we're going to focus directly on those nighttime experiences, the sleep paralysis epidemic that swept through Nome, and why so many people describe the same terrifying beings in the rooms. We've returned, and we have the great Basil. The Basil has joined us, and he is antsy because he knows I have a bone in my pocket.
Ready. All right.
He's ready to go sit on his pillow and chew his bone.
Look at them. Tell them hello. Hello. Hello, I am Basil. I am strong. And I am not scared of Nessie. Because I am strong.
Not scared to know cryptids. Not this Basil. Alright, you ready for your bone? Okay. He wants to sit on this giant pillow. Relax. Here. Alright. Alright.
Let's see if I can make it through Act 4 before Basil finishes his bone.
Alright, everybody. And
Act
while you
4.
do that, I'm going to queue up our vote and world's evidence. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right,
Act
let's
4.
do it.
Science versus the monster. Act 4. If there really is a large unknown creature living in Loch Ness, modern science should be able to find it. That has been the thinking behind the decades of expeditions
Sorry.
using sonar, underwater photography, remotely operated vehicles, and more recently, DNA analysis. While these investigations have greatly improved our understanding of the loch itself, they have also shown just how difficult it is to prove or disprove the existence of Nessie. One of the biggest challenges is the environment. Loch Ness may look like an ordinary lake from the shoreline, but beneath the surface it's an incredibly difficult place to investigate. The dark, peat-stained water absorbs light so effectively that visibility is often reduced to only a few feet. Combined with the loch's depth and the steep underwater slopes, even modern cameras can struggle to produce useful images. It is entirely possible for large objects to remain hidden from view for long periods, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're living creatures. In 2018, one of the most ambitious scientific studies ever conducted at Loch Ness attempted to answer the mystery in a completely different way. Instead of searching for the monster directly, researchers collected hundreds of water samples from around the loch and analyzed what is known as environmental DNA, or eDNA. Every animal leaves behind tiny traces of genetic material through skin cells, mucus, scales, waste, and other biological material. By identifying that DNA, scientists can determine what species have recently been present in the water. The results were fascinating. Researchers found genetic evidence of countless fish, birds, mammals, and microorganisms, but they found no DNA indicating the presence of a giant reptile, a prehistoric plesiosaur, or any unknown large aquatic animal. For many people, that seemed like the final nail in the coffin for the classic Nessie theory. However, the study produced one unexpected finding. The loch contained an unusually large amount of eel DNA. European eels are common throughout Scotland, but no one knows exactly how large they can grow under exceptional circumstances. Some researchers suggested that at least a handful of Nessie sightings could be explained by unusually large eels moving near the surface. While there is no evidence that truly gigantic
The lake
eels
is actually a
exist
totally
in the
fine environment for a sustainable population. The fauna, even if we ignore low fish population, the size of the lake is enough. And the fact that it doesn't freeze makes it okay.
Yeah, that's
So while
it's a factor we need to take into account later.
Yeah.
For sure.
While there is no evidence that truly gigantic eels exist in Loch Ness, the theory remains one of the more plausible natural explanations. Other theories have been proposed over the years. Some have suggested witnesses were seeing the Atlantic sturgeon, which is what you brought earlier, a species capable of reaching impressive sizes and occasionally developing prominent ridges along their backs. Others have proposed Greenland sharks, which could grow well over 20 feet in length and have been known to enter fresh water for short periods under certain conditions. The problem with both theories is that neither species has been confirmed to inhabit Loch Ness, and neither fully matches the description given by eyewitnesses. Some explanations don't involve animals at all. The loch is known for producing unusual wave patterns caused by changing winds, boat wakes, and a phenomenon called something. Seiche. Second line towards the end.
Psyche? Ichi?
Ichi, maybe?
German. We'll call it
where water
Psyche.
oscillates. It's where water oscillates back and forth like water sloshing in a bathtub. It is something, but I have never heard that word out loud, so would not know how to pronounce it. These movements can create long rolling humps that appear to travel across the surface. Combined with floating logs, patches of vegetation, or swimming deer, it's easy to see how the observer might briefly interpret an ordinary object as something extraordinary. Perhaps the biggest obstacle to the existence of Nessie is biology. Large animals require large populations to survive. A single monster cannot persist for centuries without breeding, which would mean dozens, if not hundreds, of individuals would need to inhabit the loch over time, which I believe is what we will see here in a moment. Scientists have questioned whether Loch Ness contains enough food to support a hidden population of large predators. The available fish biomass appears too small to sustain creatures, the size often reported by eyewitnesses. Yet despite all these scientific arguments, the mystery refuses to disappear. New sightings continue to be reported almost every year. Most can be explained, some cannot, and none have produced the definitive proof needed to settle the debate. Science has ruled out several popular theories, challenged others, and narrowed the possibilities, but it has not answered every question. After nearly a century of organized investigation, we're left in a strange position. We know more about Loch Ness than ever before, yet we still can't fully explain why so many people, from locals to scientists, have reported seeing something unusual in its waters. The evidence may not point to a prehistoric survivor, but it also doesn't completely close the case. And that's what has kept the legend alive for generations. Maybe it's not done with his bone.
No, he's
Bobby
not.
wins.
Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room here. Food. Something that large would need to consume a lot of food.
A lot of beavers.
A lot of beavers. I mean, even to the scale of deer or human, something that large, it does give me a little bit of fault. I have trouble justifying clearly or plainly on the aspect of food. How are you going to sustain something like that, let alone a family? Because you need more than one to last for thousands of years, right? So there has to be at least two. Unless we're dealing with something like Lake
The being
Placid.
eating land animals and birds beside the fish and amphibians. The land around the lake are rich in game like deer, hare. Pike population is presently in the lake, is great size.
And, you know, there was a sighting where they were driving down the road and the one crossed in front of them or whatever.
Right, yeah. So we do have some clearly of it on land. I'm not going to form my opinion yet. Not going to form it yet. We do have a a little bit more evidence to look at here. She's laughing already. I hope Worlds is still here. I really do.
Specifically.
Oh, this window is so large. Here we go. Worlds may not be here anymore. That's okay. But let me set up for...
Yes, sheep and cattle are heard around the lake.
Yeah, it's why I said maybe a Lake Placid situation. If you remember the movie Lake Placid,
Yeah.
the giant alligator. Remember Betty White was in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Betty White was feeding the alligator.
Yeah.
Who's to say somebody's not feeding it?
True.
It's not far-fetched, not by any means. Let me get Twitch pulled up, and we're going to set up this vote. Da-da. I should have done it already. I was very distracted by the dog. Manage prediction. Here we go. Does it work over and over again? I've never used this twice in a row.
It's just one way to find out.
Yeah, we're just gonna hit we're gonna click start prediction. You have a chance now for the next 5 minutes to predict whether or not this case is gonna come out as paranormal or not paranormal. And whoever's live in Twitch, whoever predicts correctly.
We should say this is based on like the outcome is what, a majority rules situation. It's always been a majority rules situation, so it is not a oh yes, this definitely is, check it off your box, but it is today on the Beyond the Shadows podcast, or it isn't today on Beyond the Shadows.
We're going to take everybody's the majority vote into consideration at the end of the episode.
We will also ask Basil and Olive because they're in the room.
Yes.
They are also paranormal experts, as long as you don't fact check them.
So our submission period will be 10 minutes. No, let's do 5 minutes. We're going to give everybody 5 minutes a chance to vote. Whoever votes correctly on Twitch will get 2,000 points, channel points. I mean, you get points just for watching, but if there's only one person that predicts correctly, then that one person gets all 2,000 channel points. If there's 2 or more, then they get divvied up between the people that voted correctly. So, that being said...
If I'm doing my math correctly, isn't that like 80 basal base drops?
Yes.
25 channel.
Something, yeah, because the basal base drop is 25. Everything's 25 points.
Yeah.
So, starting now, I'm going to start the...
I say that it's not paranormal.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Well, hold on. Just don't jump the phone yet, or don't jump the gun yet, because we've got a little bit of evidence left. We're giving everybody a chance to predict.
Not paranormal.
Oh, is that James? I think that was James.
Yes, that was likely James. Hold on. Yeah, that was James in YouTube lands.
There's lots of windows open, James. I couldn't.
Yeah,
I couldn't
sorry.
see you.
I can't vote, so I would love to vote for you, but this is only available on Twitch, so you have to be here live to vote.
But James has voted.
James has voted. We're gonna.
It's James. It's on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, we will take it into account. So we're gonna start the prediction now. And everybody's got a chance.
I can't see buttons for vote on Twitch.
Okay, it just went live. It's up at the top. It's a scrolling purple bar. Pretty sure. Yeah, you've got a button now that says predict. So, everybody watching gets a chance to vote on Twitch anyway. Whoever votes correctly gets 2,000 points or their share of it, depending on how many people are in chat. So,
and I feel like, if James ends up voting correctly and he wants us to do like 80 basal base drops over the course of the next year, we could totally do that for him.
Yeah, James, if you're part of the winning vote, we will give you some we'll do. Oh my gosh, she cleared this thing out. We'll give you a couple drops just for funsies. But we do have one tiny piece of evidence that I want to share with everybody.
I found it.
Ah, fantastic. This evidence was submitted by Worlds of Confusion, one of our biggest fans. Worlds of Confusion messaged me yesterday and sent me, or no, just this morning. They were very, very excited about tonight's episode because Worlds recommended this episode. I'm just gonna I'm gonna find a spot to start here. But we're not gonna have sound on, so we're not gonna worry about a copyright ding. But here is Worlds of Confusion's evidence for tonight's case. So apparently this is a very regional cartoon. There's Worlds. This is a regional cartoon where an entire family of Loch Ness like creatures are living in the loch, and there is a great many of them living in the loch, and these two children work together to save one, and they get the ability to summon the entire Loch Ness family. This is the evidence provided tonight, submitted to you for the approval of the Midnight Society. There is the Queen of Loch Ness. Just happens to have a little rope with her. If this isn't definitive proof, then I don't know what is. Basil is even here, partaking in the evidence watching. He loves cartoons. We leave cartoons running for him all the time. He loves himself some cartoons. So submitted to you for the approval of the Midnight Society. This is clear evidence of Loch Ness existing. Not a bad little cartoon. I love the hand-drawn stuff. I really do. I really do. Anywhoots, you've seen your evidence. Let's hit Act 5, and Act 5 is generally a wrap-up. So let me stop this YouTube video. Jeez. All right, folks. You've got another couple minutes left on the vote. Let's get into Act 5. You ready for Act 5, Basil? Basil's ready for Act 5. All right, let's get into Act 5. This is Act 5. Is something really living in Loch Ness? Act 5. After more than 90 years of modern investigation and over 1,500 years of legend, we're left with a question that still refuses to go away. Is there actually something living in Loch Ness that science has yet to identify? Or has one of the world's greatest mysteries been built on misidentifications, folklore, and a few famous hoaxes? Let's start with what we know. The classic image of Nessie, a long-necked prehistoric reptile resembling a plesiosaur, is almost certainly, at least likely, an explanation. Paleontologists point out that plesiosaurs disappeared around 66 million years ago during the mass extinction that ended the age of the dinosaur. Even if one somehow survived, Loch Ness itself is only about 10,000 years old. Having formed at the end of the last ice age, there is no known way a breeding population of marine reptiles could have been trapped there and remained hidden ever since. The famous surgeon's photograph, once considered the strongest evidence of Nessie, has been exposed as a deliberate hoax. The revelation damaged the monster's credibility, but it's important to remember that the legend didn't begin with that photograph, nor did it end when the truth came out. Sightings continued before the image was taken and have continued ever since. The giant eel theory is far more grounded in science. European eels are known to inhabit the loch, and the environmental DNA study confirmed their presence is significant in numbers, but could an unusually large eel account for every report? Probably not. But it could explain at least some of the sightings, particularly those involving long dark shapes moving just below the surface. It's one of the few natural explanations supported by actual evidence collected from the loch. Then there were the countless opportunities for honest mistakes. Loch Ness is an environment built for optical illusions. Its dark water conceals objects until the last moment. Changing weather creates unusual wave patterns, and floating logs or swimming animals can appear much larger than they really are. Human perception is remarkably good at recognizing patterns, especially when people believe that something unusual is swimming in the water. But that doesn't mean witnesses are lying. It simply means that our brains sometimes fill in the gaps when information is limited. But dismissing every report as mistaken identity has also created problems. Some witnesses have spent their entire lives around Loch Ness. They know what boats, seals, deer, birds, and floating timber looks like. And among the thousands of sightings are experienced fishermen, police officers, military personnel, scientists, and local residents who insist they observed something they couldn't identify. While eyewitness testimony is never perfect, it's difficult to believe that every credible observer made exactly the same kind of mistake for nearly a century. So perhaps that's why the Loch Ness mystery has endured when so many other cryptid stories have faded away. Unlike legends built around a single event, Nessie is supported by an ongoing stream of reports spanning generations. Most are probably explainable, a handful remain genuinely puzzling, but together, they've created a mystery that has resisted every attempt at a definitive solution. And as in paranormal investigators, this is where we have to separate possibility from probability. Is it possible that an unknown large animal lives in Loch Ness? Science can't completely rule that out. And history has shown us that new species are being discovered daily, even in the modern era. However, based on the available evidence, it doesn't appear that a probable population of giant prehistoric reptiles has remained hidden in one of the most studied lakes on Earth. And at the same time, it's equally difficult to claim that the mystery has been completely solved. No single explanation accounts for every credible sighting, every unusual sonar contact, every piece of footage.
https://clips.twitch.tv/onerous transparent moose chase -mar 7 imzumik 6 pwx5.
We'll look at that. Hold on. And maybe that's the real legacy of the Loch Ness Monster. It's not just a story proving a monster exists. It's a story about curiosity. Every generation arrives at Loch Ness believing it might finally solve the mystery, armed with better technology than the one before. And every generation leaves with a few more answers. And just enough unanswered questions keep the legend alive. So whether Nessie is an undiscovered animal, a collection of honest mistakes, or something else entirely, one fact remains undeniable. For more than 15 centuries, the dark waters of Loch Ness have inspired wonder, debate, and investigation unlike anywhere else in the world. Until someone produces undeniable proof or finally explains every credible report, the world's most famous monster will continue waiting just beneath the surface. All right. So we've reached the end of Act 5. Let me pull up this clip. Oh wait, that's our clip. Sorry, I got excited. I thought somebody dropped the link in chat. My bad. Wait. Owner's transparent moose PR chase. What? But it's okay. Hold on. I'm just gonna look right quick. What? What? Oh, yeah. Okay. Somebody clipped it. Thank you for clipping. Oh, my God. Thank you for clipping. Oh, yeah. World's clip. I'm sorry. It's a new function. I'm not used to it yet. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Stop with your judging eyes. The only one allowed to judge here is Basil. So, all right, before we hit our closing monologue, I want to do the thing that I love doing. When it comes to investigations, I like to ask, and it's the first question. It's always the first question. Do you know what the first question is? Like your bike is.
Woo, 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 woo. It's moved because the puppy needs it to be moved, but the question is who's making money?
Right. Who's making money? Just because Basil's here, let's hit a Basil bass drop.
Basil bass drop.
All right, so who's making money? Let's pull up Google Maps. And I want to see everything. I want to see everything that's like Nessie related. Because this makes a difference. It really does. All right, here we go. I'm just going to type in Loch Ness Monster. Not monster. Monster. Oh boy. We've got a number of things already. So the middle of the lake is a pin? Loch Ness? Yeah, well that makes sense. The Loch Ness Experience. Loch Ness statue. Oh geez, I didn't even know this was a thing. Wow. Honestly impressed. I wasn't really expecting this. Okay. Loch Ness viewpoint. Loch Ness Monster. Oh, jeez. So we're leaning into tourism here. Unfortunately, that is a red flag. It's a big red flag. So we could be dealing with something that I love to pull up. Because I think at this point, the idea of the Loch Ness Monster has creeped its way into the Zeitgeist. Everybody wants to see the Loch Ness Monster. I can remember hearing stories about the Loch Ness Monster all the way back from the early 90s, back when I was a little kid, listening to Coast AM. The Loch Ness Monster is very intriguing. It's a great story, and it gained traction during the time of Jurassic Park. So people like me exist. We want this to be real. We want there to be a plesiosaur or something out there living in a lake, an existing dinosaur. But we're dealing with 1,500 years of sightings. And at a certain point, you've got to kind of wonder, are we dealing with a tulpa? I have said tulpa for maybe a quarter of the episodes that we've talked about. A tulpa is a really good way to explain some things. So in a nutshell, I'm going to give you like the layman's concept of a tulpa. So say we live in a city with 50 people, and there's always been a story of a winged creature with red eyes. I'm not saying Mothman, but let's say there's always been a story in the zeitgeist of a winged creature at night with red eyes. We'll say with a blue diamond in its forehead. Well, when you have generations upon generations of people expecting this winged creature with red eyes and a blue diamond in its forehead, you put that energy out into the universe and you create what is called a tulpa. Now, the Native Americans coined the term tulpa as, it's a collective consciousness of energy focusing on a single thing, and they believe it to be so true that it manifests itself. This is what a tulpa is. So, harken back to season 2 when we talked about the Loveland Frogman. I said that it was a tulpa because they probably had one legitimate experience, and it has seeped its way into the collective unconscious of the society, to the point where everybody wanted to see the Loveland Frogman, and the tulpa effect comes into play. Everybody's pushing their energy towards wanting to see something, and that energy manifests itself. The tulpa is another way of describing something like a skinwalker. People believe there's a skinwalker in the area, especially with Native American societies. They're going to, a couple hundred people believe that there's a skinwalker in the area. Well, what do you know? A skinwalker manifests itself. That's a tulpa. It's not necessarily a cryptid. It is a manifestation of energy. So I'm not saying that the Loch Ness Monster is not real. I'm not saying it's not a cryptid. Based on the evidence we have today, I believe we're looking at a tulpa. It makes the most sense to me that we've had 1,500 plus years of people saying that they've seen something in the lake, and now we've got road access to the lake. We've got people with cameras. We got people with side-scanning sonar. I'm going to go out in the lake and I'm going to do my best.
Absolutely paranormal.
Oh, okay. Hold no. Don't tie the noose around my neck yet, okay? Because as a tulpa, it could be considered paranormal. I'm not saying that the Loch Ness Monster is a legitimate cryptid. I'm saying the Loch Ness Monster is a tulpa. And being a tulpa, it could manifest itself as something physical. And that is what we are seeing. This is my personal interpretation based on the evidence that we've seen tonight, and based on the videos we've seen, the photos we've seen. This could very, very easily explain. All right. Sorry, worlds, but this could very easily explain.
I say that it's real, skin and bones only species.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say tulpa. I'm not saying it's not paranormal. I'm saying that it's not like a physical, like a remnant of like the prehistoric period. I'm saying it's not a cryptid. I'm saying it's a tulpa. But I am going to say it's paranormal.
Basil was just judging you really, really hard.
I know. I was watching the whole time I was talking to him.
He was judging you. He was judging you. I think he was judging you from World's perspective. Hardcore judging. So I'm just gonna go with it's paranormal only because
What?
I've just decided that if Worlds thinks it's paranormal, that I think it.
What is your reasoning behind it, other than worlds?
Because I just trust worlds, and I trust worlds' judgment. How could you not trust the judgment of someone who makes the song that she sent, the video that she sent to you,
About
and
bums?
also sent you that cartoon? Like, I feel like her judgment is just sound. That's the best I got. I mean, you know, I don't think it's a beaver any longer, which makes me sad. And I do see the potential of it being an eel, and I do see the potential of it being a tulpa, like you said. I don't know that I'm like firmly ready outside of my dedication to worlds to go. Like, if worlds changed her mind, I might be easily swayed again too. But I think I have one foot in the paranormal side.
All right.
And Basil also thinks that it's paranormal.
So you're saying paranormal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I say paranormal, but a tulpa, but still paranormal. Hazel says paranormal.
Yeah. Basil says paranormal.
Basil says paranormal. Worlds says paranormal.
Grand Designs says real, not paranormal, skin and bone species. Like, they don't say not paranormal, but I think that that's what they're getting at
Clever
here.
Basil.
Like, I think that's what they're getting at here is that it's not paranormal because it's real, like it's an actual
Like
species.
a physical, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we get a deviation, because a tulpa is it's a physical manifestation, but it's not like you could see it, but you're not going to be able to like touch it.
Right.
It's a spiritual energy manifestation.
Basil thinks that it's paranormal and he could touch it if he wanted to.
So, are you guys ready for the big shocker? We had 2 people vote for not paranormal, and only 1 person voted absolutely paranormal.
And I know who the absolutely was.
All right, so
Actually, no, because James voted not paranormal too.
okay, so I voted paranormal. You voted paranormal. Worlds voted paranormal, and then we have 2 not paranormals, and then 1 paranormal. So we've got.
Wait, no. I think you're counting wrong. Okay. So me, you, worlds are all paranormal, right?
There's 3.
Including, I'm just saying, I'm guessing the absolutely paranormal is worlds. And then we have 2 not paranormals from the stream,
Yes.
plus James makes 3.
So we got 3 and 3.
Yeah.
We got a tie.
Yeah.
Oh my god. We need somebody. We need a tiebreaker. What do we do?
Maybe you just give points to everybody.
I can't just give points to everybody. That's the problem.
Oh.
We need a tiebreaker. What do we do? Oh geez.
Over a century ago, the Lake Seneca from NY State Monster was caught and towed by a ship, but eventually its carcass sunk and was identified by the geologist aboard the ship as a medium-sized mosasaurus. Basil.
Oh, so Basil is our. All right. So I'm going to give Basil 2 hands. 2 hands. You see both hands. This hand is paranormal. This hand is not paranormal. You all saw him acknowledge both hands.
I need to move the microphones.
Not yeah. Let's move the mic out of the way. Not paranormal. Paranormal. Oh jeez. Hold on. Wait. We need better sound effects. Hold on. Keep both hands. What do you want? Okay. We have a decision. Basil has voted paranormal. He was so confused. Bless his little tiny heart. Oh, Bless your little heart, pup.
But you know what? He was like, my dad.
He's like, my dad's putting his hand in front of my face. Am I about to get hit?
He was not like that at all. You could tell, like, you could tell this dog.
Clever
he's like,
poppet.
he's like, I'm gonna get pets. I'm gonna get
I'm gonna get
pets.
pets.
It's coming.
So we're
He
gonna.
loves his dad. You should see the way he looks at Victus when.
He is such a cute puppy.
Thank you. We got him for free. And we've spent hundreds of dollars on him since, but we did get him for free.
So the official outcome, voted by this wonderful, amazing puppy, that Loch Ness is officially paranormal. You guys got me on the
That
bandwagon.
is absolutely paranormal. That is absolutely paranormal.
Let's hit a basal bass drop for this amazing puppy doing some amazing stuff. If y'all are listening to this later on Apple Podcasts, y'all are missing out on the video. Oh geez. What?
WOOO.
All right, so I guess now I can wear this shirt non-ironically. There's one of our ghosts. I can start wearing this shirt non-ironically, and y'all have brought me to the light side. I have finally seen that maybe Nessie isn't something faked. You can thank the puppy. He's a good boy. He loves just being here. He's a good boy. But let's not neglect the olive oil. Over here.
Clever Victus.
Let's drop an olive oil drum and bass. Hold on, where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
Surely you mean au revoir? No, goodbye.
Olive oil drum and bass.
All right, folks, we did it. We've done a thorough investigation to the best of our abilities tonight, and we have decided that the Loch Ness Monster is truly paranormal.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, wait, go. Do it.
That is absolutely paranormal.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's keeping that light alive from when I was a kid.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Worlds. I hope you're feeling better. And if not, I hope you feel better very quickly. Some good sleep.
So that gives me hope that maybe we should do an investigation on Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Because I have had this opinion on the Loch Ness Monster that it was something faked for the last 20 plus years of my life. Maybe, just maybe, we're to the point where more evidence is available. And opinions can change.
Basil will help you. Basil will help you because he knows all about Bigfoot.
Because he has big feet.
He does. He has a Bigfoot toy, and every time he gets it out, we say, that's a big old foot.
Big old foot? All right. Well, I guess my next question is...
Do you believe in me? Because I believe.
Look up
in
Mongolia
you.
Lake Monster.
Oh, yeah, I know that
That'll
one.
be our next
I know that one.
Well, I don't know if it'll be our
Believe.
next one. That'll be on our list. Believe.
So it brings us to a next question. So what did we do last week? Was that the
Last week it's the alien. It was the UFO where the lady got the burns and all that.
right. The
The cache something.
Cash Landrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cash Landrum UFOs. So we did Cast Landrum UFO last week. We did a cryptid this week. So I think we could either do a ghost next week, or we could just say fuck it and dive headfirst into Bigfoot. Because now I'm interested. I'm like, something that I've had a negative idea about for the last 20 plus years of my life. My foundation has been rocked. Do we go back and investigate the things that I think aren't paranormal?
So I think
More lake monster.
I do think we need to start doing some research on the lake monsters to get an idea for long-term planning, because that's gonna be kind of cool. But I do think it would be fun for you to do Bigfoot just next week, because you enjoy that and it would be something fun to do and it could be fun. But I do think we don't want to forget the lake monsters for the future one.
Yeah, we're
okay. You're about to get company.
Oh, get down from there, little one. Go. Yeah, you can't climb up there anymore. So we're definitely going to put the lake monsters, the Great Lakes monsters,
Bigfoots,
in a future episode. I kind of want to cover the Great Lakes Triangle, but I want to also kind of deviate off of that and then cover cryptids in the area. I'm a native to Michigan, so it's kind of near and dear to my heart. So I want to make sure that one gets done right.
Yeah.
Usually, like this episode, I kind of half-hearted put my heart into the research, but I really want to make sure I get the Great Lakes Triangle and the cryptids in the area. I want to get it right. And Shark has also expressed a great interest in wanting to be here for that episode. So I really need to kind of touch base with her and figure out when's a good time that she'd be able to show up. So I guess next week let's do Bigfoot. Yeah, let's do fucking Bigfoot. That sounds good.
Hazel said he'll help. Hi, Olive.
We'll do Bigfoot next week, which I'll probably come in with the same salty attitude as I did tonight. Well, joke's on you. I've got a shirt already.
If you can't wear it 2 weeks.
I have some great evidence for big feats too. Have you ever heard of Harry and the Hendersons? Great documentary.
I bet you'd be able to get a really patriotic Bigfoot shirt, because next week's 4th of July too. I bet you there's a crossover.
Yeah, I'll find a good shirt to get for next week. We'll do Bigfoot next week.
Not that we're necessarily patriotic, but it would still be funny.
But we'll do Bigfoot next week, and the Great Lakes cryptids are in the works. Just stay tuned. I want to make sure I get that one right. It's very important to me, and that we get the insurance, not the information correct.
Bigfoot insurance.
Bigfoot insurance. Yeah, I don't know where insurance came from, but
We probably can't afford that.
No, I'm not. But no, there is some really interesting information about Bigfoot. Harry and the Hendersons aside, but we'll have some fun next week. So it's Grand Design. I hope you come back next week. We do this. This is kind of like cookie cutter, what we do every single week. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We get a little ridiculous sometimes. We try to have as much fun as possible.
I do think we behaved ourselves a little bit more this week, probably because we had a new person. We stayed on track more.
Yeah. The Grand Design, I hope we didn't scare you off, because we are a little weird. We are not your average podcasters. If this really tickled your fancy, we've got 100+ episodes of the podcast that we've been doing for the last 3 years. You're welcome to check it out. We're all over YouTube.
Lovely having you at grand_designs_enjoyer.
Yes, we're glad to have somebody new in chat. I love having. I've said it many times, and I'll say it again, but I would rather just have an open conversation rather than read a script.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference when you've got people
nice to talk to you guys.
In the chat. Yeah, I'm so glad you came tonight.
We are. Glad you came. And if you really weren't super huge fans of us necessarily, we do plan on bringing the puppy on every week.
Yeah.
Worlds of confusion.
Yeah, he's our buddy. He's our little buddy.
Your scripts are also great, mind you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's a week's worth of work for like 2 hours of entertainment. It's a labor of love for sure. Oh, this little puppy. He's ready to go sit in the bed. All right, folks. Well, let's wrap this thing up. I'm glad every single one of you came here tonight. Thank you, Grand Design. Glad to have some fresh blood in the chat. All right, let's get some MLG. Thanks, Grand Design, for being here tonight. Thank you, Worlds. As always, you're the best. You the best. Hold on. Let's do the redemption.
Thank you,
You the
Blip.
best.
Thank you, Poke Your Eyes Out Radio. Thank
Yep.
you to James.
Yeah, James, as always, one of our incredible followers, one of the first people to email me concerning the podcast and gave me great information.
I can contribute with my library of cryptid stuff.
Oh,
I can make a Google Docs style file and share it with you next time.
Yay, that would be
Massive
awesome.
love, you guys.
That would be awesome, Grand
We
Design.
got
and
no
massive love
problem.
to you, World.
Taking information in. If you want to scan this QR code, it should give you a link to my email address. It should be at beyondshadowspodcast@gmail.com. You're welcome to email me anything you want. Also, with those of you listening on not live, if you have your own paranormal tale, case, or claim, you're welcome to email me at beyondshadowspodcast@gmail.com. We have a reputation for reading listener submissions. So if you have your own paranormal tale, own paranormal story, anything, a suggestion for a future episode, email us at beyondshadowspodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. We don't get a whole lot of emails, but you know what? Every single one matters to us. That being said, I'm so glad every single one of you were here tonight. Thank you, Grand Design, for coming in tonight. Thank you, Worlds of Confusion, as always. Thank you, Blip. Thank you, Hef. Thank you, Poke Your Eyes Out Radio. Thank you, James. Y'all are amazing. I love every single one of you guys. You guys make this show so much better than it needs to be. You give me a reason for getting up. You give me a reason for making this show. But we do have a little bit of a closing monologue to hit, so we're going to hit this thing up. I don't know that we have anybody worth rating. Let me check.
While you do this, I'm stepping away to manage the babies.
Okay, do your thing.
Bye, guys.
No, nobody's really streaming tonight. So, that being said, we're going to hit this closing monologue. We're going to get the hell out of here, folks. I hope to see y'all here next week, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about Bigfoot. And I don't know how I feel about that yet, but, we'll see what happens. So let's hit this closing monologue. Let me hit my nervous juice. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you being here tonight. Let's close this thing out. Tonight, we traveled to Scottish Highlands to investigate one of the oldest and most famous cryptids in history. Along the way, we found folklore stretching back more than 15 centuries, eyewitnesses who genuinely believed they saw something impossible, photographs that inspired millions before being exposed as hoaxes, scientific expeditions that searched every corner of the loch, and modern DNA studies that challenge some theories while raising new questions. If there's one thing this case teaches us, it's that mysteries are rarely as simple as believers or skeptics would like them to be. The evidence doesn't conclusively prove that a giant, unknown creature lives beneath the waters of Loch Ness, but it also doesn't neatly explain away every credible sighting reported over the last century. So if you find yourself on a side road of Loch Ness with a camera in hand, don't panic. Pay attention to the water. Look for ripples. Look for disturbances in the water. Take pictures. Take photos. Don't be scared. Stay vigilant. But whatever you do, make sure you follow us beyond the shadows. Good night, everybody. Love you guys. See you next weekend.
A creature like that, how would it ever die?
And this monster starts running right at me.
Annihilated by nuclear bombs.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
Oh, you're crazy.
But I saw that monster too. All I want is for someone to believe me.
Contaminated.
Face. Horrible. Look like it would scare you to death.
All right, let's get to work.